When you get the gift just right, you make everyone's holiday. This year, give the present that sparks. Something smarter, something simpler, something designed to make every day better. For the happiest holidays, Kuyana. Fewer, better, every day.
Get in on the action with Prize Picks. Simply pick 2 or more players to win up to 10 times your money. How do you feel?
10 times my money? Woohoo! I can't wait.
Join over 1 million people who found a better way to play. Prize Picks is available in your state. Download the app today and get your first deposit matched up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy.
You want tacos?
No. Ladies and gentlemen, known worldwide as simply the Mage, one, and affectionately by all as the Father of Bear. He hails from Chevy Chase, Maryland, by way of the Upper West Side of Manhattan, the former and forever 24/7 champion, Peter Rosenberg. And now, hailing from 80s Jersey, New Jersey, where the Camaros roar and the Budweiser nips flow like the River Nile, Ramapo College grad and the original voice of the station. Give it up for Don the Cracker! And now, at 6'4", 228 pounds, from Fordham University in the Bronx, a multi-time Emmy winner, and not, nor will he ever be, a member of the Radio or Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Michael King!
Well, what's up, everybody? Wow.
That feels good.
The K Show on Broadway, huh?
We made it.
How about that?
We made it.
Wow. First off, we have to thank, he came back all the way from Texas for this. He sang the song that he wrote, Joey Salvia. And if you're a Nick fan, you know the voice that introduced us. We were so happy that he made time for us today. Mike Walczewski, we know him as King Wally. There he is. Woo! And this is indeed the Michael K. Show. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate it. We're going to have some fun to be pretty amazing. From 7 to 9.
Yeah.
That's when everybody takes their clothes off, right?
Right. This is when we will do the show fully in the nude, which we know everyone's waiting for.
I'm not gonna do that.
Get your pizza ready
Right.
to put pawn chest.
Oh, pawn chest.
Pawn chest.
Pawn
That's what we're doing today.
That's what we're doing, pawn
And
chest.
I know you're in a good mood today. You have a 1 point in the bag. My 3-pointer already gone.
Oh, so pathetic by you.
Really a horrible...
Moving day, I like to call it.
No, I don't think it's moving day, but it was a horrible effort from the Packers, and it was a big mistake on my part.
What'd you expect?
I expected something else.
It's the turning point.
It is
You
the
said
turning
it
point.
yesterday. It's
No,
the turning
no.
point.
But you know what?
Beginning of the end.
I'm mentally not fearing it this time.
Really?
Yes.
Now, if I get a 3-pointer that clicks, then
Though
I
I
gain
walk
3
through
points
the
on you.
valley of the shadow of death or whatever,
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
I have the staff and all the stuff that they said you have. I got it.
Yeah, they never had a chance, by the way. They
The
never
Packers?
really, the Packers
They were
never
awful.
had a chance.
They were awful.
They
From
were
the
awful.
second I turned it on, it was bad.
But this is amazing. Look at all these people that are here to come celebrate the 20th anniversary. And I'm like Robert Saleh. I kept receipts.
There were a lot of people.
Oh, I kept receipts.
Yep.
When I had
Tell us about him.
When I had I won't mention any names, but I sat because I don't remember his name, because that's how insignificant he was. There was an agent. I was looking for an agent, and I sat down with him. This is probably Peter, maybe 04, 05, just as the show had moved to afternoons, and I wanted to get an agent, and he told me, "You want my advice? Get off the Michael K. Show. It's never going to work. Wow. It's never going to happen.
Wow.
It's probably best that you go find something else to do. I can't market you on that show."
Wow.
Palladium, Full House, 20th anniversary.
Wow.
I did not sign him as an agent.
And
And I know some of his clients, and he's working his tail off for very little money.
And that is that agent was Scott Boras.
Is that true?
People don't-
Wow.
And he said, maybe it's time to move on away from sports radio into actual baseball. So that's the stuff I think about, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Because when this whole thing started, man, it was a startup, seriously. And everybody thinks, well, it's ESPN, so ESPN's going to be big and it's going to work. But you're going up against a McGilla and WFAN. You've got so many people who don't believe, so many people who, quite frankly, didn't know what they were doing.
I do think that's a big part of the story, though. I think that everyone assumes ESPN is the behemoth, and it's not. So it's a very...
Not in radio.
Not in radio.
Right.
It's a very backward sort of story. Of course, it's the behemoth in sports television. But when it comes to radio and local radio, everyone out here knows who listens to local radio. You don't care about a big brand showing up in your market.
Right.
You care about good radio shows showing up in your market. So it's interesting because I'm sure people thought, oh, it must be easy. This has been a real... You guys really built something. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Well, the man who put the two of us together before Peter shoved his way in was Tim McCarthy.
Well, he shoved me in, too.
He did shove you in, but 13 years later. Tim McCarthy decided to pair us up.
Yes.
And he hired Don to be the first voice of the station. And then after I got off the Yankee radio, because once I was on Yankee radio, I couldn't be on then 1050 because it was different stations. But then the Yes Network happened. I got hired there, so my radio rights were up. And he thought I could be a talk show host. And he said, why don't you do, what was the first, 12 o'clock? Noon show?
No, the first show was 10 to 1.
You sure?
Wow,
Why would I not? Yeah, because you remember you did that whole song. I'll
Yeah,
never have to
but that
work
was
before
after
noon.
we started at noon.
No.
Okay, whatever.
It was 10. What do you want me to tell you? It's the truth. I have a better memory than you.
It started
The
10
show
to 1,
started 10 to
and
1.
then went to noon?
No, then eventually it went to 4 to 7. That was in 05. But on July 15th, 2002, we started 10 to 1.
Anyway, the thing that they did was because I was on the road with the Yankees is they wanted, Tim McCarthy sold me, well, let Don LaGreca be there in case the line drops.
Well, yeah. Well, what you're talking about is before they put us together.
Right.
Like Michael Kay does a show, and of course the way it works at this radio station, one person tells somebody something, and then somebody other tells you something different. So they tell Michael, don't worry about it. Don is just there in case the line drops.
Right.
Michael was just doing some shows on the side, and this is during the 01 season leading up to that, or 02 season leading up to that summer when they decided to give you the show, because the whole idea was you were going to be with McEnroe.
Right.
And they couldn't work out the contract with John McEnroe, so you were doing shows, and you were on location.
Mac and Kay.
Is that what it was
That
going
was
to
going
be?
to be,
be.
Mac and Kay.
And so they told you, Don's just there in case the line drops.
And
'Cause
that's,
this is
I
20
took
years
it literally.
And what'd they tell you?
that I'm co-hosting the show. So I'm sitting there waiting for Michael to introduce me. Never introduces me. I'm waiting for Michael. So what do you think, Don? Nothing. The whole day. Nothing. Didn't say a word to me. So I'm thinking, this piece of garbage. I hate him. First of all, he's the Yankee announcer. I can't stand him. And now I can't stand him because he's not talking to me. Meanwhile, Michael's thinking, Don's just there in case the line drops. Why should I talk to him? So somebody must get in his ear and say, Don's sitting there for however many hours it was, not doing anything. You should talk to him.
Well, this is really a proactive management.
Yeah,
here.
proactive. Yeah, so Michael figures, I'll throw the guy a crumb. Michael's probably thinking in his head, I'll give this kid a thrill.
He didn't know he'd never get the mic back.
First thing he ever said to me on the air. So, Don, heard you're a big hockey fan. Yeah, I'm a big hockey fan. Yeah, I've got harness racing above hockey.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the calls. 1-800-919.
We clicked right away.
That was, and then that was that whole day.
Oh, you're a horrible person.
But they never told me that what he was supposed to be.
So now, day 1, nothing. Day 2, harness racing over hockey.
Okay.
Day 3, so, Don, did you see that that ESPN movie with Brian Dennehy as Bobby Knight? From the book?
Yeah. Season on the Brink.
I said, yeah, I thought it was terrible. He goes, ooh, look at you going after the company. Let's go back to the calls, 1-800-919. That was it. So then I went to management and said, this guy's
a piece of garbage.
trash.
Yeah. Straight up.
But eventually we figured out what we learned, thank God, is that not mixed messages, that's going to happen sometimes, and it was miscommunication. And the only reason that I'm sitting to the right of Michael Kay is because when they finally put us together, I was just supposed to be the update guy. But Michael would bring me in, he'd bring Joey in, and that's how the show started. It would have never happened if Michael had an ego not wanting to talk to people. Once he trusted me, then I matured into being a co-host. There was never a moment where they said, okay, Don, you're now the co-host of the Michael Kay Show. It just happened organically. And that's why it happened because of him.
So you're saying in this specific...
Right.
Thank you.
So wait,
Thank you.
So you're saying in this specific circumstance, yes, Michael Kay.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what you're saying.
Not
Yes,
no Michael Kay. Not
Yes,
no
Michael Kay.
Yeah, listen, when I gave that whole rant of the kids and the hair and being a good friend and a good driver, I never said anything about the Michael Kay Show.
Right.
I admitted that being on the Michael Kay Show was because of Michael Kay, but the idea that I can't do anything without the guy is absurd.
Yeah, you're a great driver.
It's
Fabulous
absolutely
driver.
absurd.
He's an
Good
absolute
friend.
great friend, too.
Tremendous hair.
Yeah. You have 2 kids.
Now, the first producer of the show is actually here.
Yes.
Rob Astorino. Might have been the worst producer of all time, but a great guy.
I don't want to bring it up to him, but my nickname for him was Wilson. The volleyball in the movie Castaway.
This sounds like a compliment.
Because that's basically what he did, was just float there and do nothing.
Well, see, we used to be at Madison Square Garden, in the building at Madison Square Garden, and the show would start, as Don said, at 10, and well, where's Rob? And Rob was in church. Rob would go to church every day at a certain time, and there'd be no guests, but boy, God was listening.
Wow. Did God have a meter?
No. God said that, let's give him 20 years. Yeah, and Rob ended up becoming a politician.
Yes.
He was starting that back then.
Yes, he was starting that back then. And the reason I called him Wilson was because before we officially became the Michael Kay Show, I went to my first Super Bowl. It was the Patriots versus the Rams. You remember that one where we thought that Tom Brady was the underdog, and then you look back and who knew that this was going to open up a whole Pandora's box of championships. So they sent me to New Orleans with Rob. And I'm on Radio Row, and he's reading the newspaper. He would get up to get a donut, come back, and just have one donut. And this was back in the infancy of the radio station. I'm not getting any calls. And he's not getting me any guests. And then finally, I'm dying for a guest. Mike McMahon, then backup quarterback of the Detroit Lions. I only knew him because he was the quarterback at Rutgers. Rob, Mike McMahon looks up from the newspaper. Oh, that's nice. Didn't get him for me.
Where's Rob?
Come on, Rob.
Come on, show
Come
your
on
face
out.
here. Where are you?
You sure you want to?
So I figure I called
He probably
him.
left.
The only difference between the Wilson and Castaway and the Wilson on the radio show is that when he drifted away, I didn't cry. Come on up, seriously.
No, that was the saddest part of the movie.
No, but he became like the pseudo program director for us and really helped.
Oh, he's up there. Just
get
like,
us going.
Just
So-
like,
There he is.
Just like Lincoln.
No, he's right. Exactly. But
As he's catching
But
one.
he wasn't much of a producer, but he did help me tremendously as a program director.
Heck of a guy.
And we worked a lot together, but I just remember the Wilson story because it's fun and it's better for radio.
Now, I do have to tell you one quick thing. So, in radio, nobody really trusts themselves, so they hire consultants.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you don't know the story. Don does. So, there was a big-time consultant. I really shouldn't say his name, Rick Scott. And
From Seattle, right? He was
right, from Seattle. I mean, he was a radio genius. And Tim McCarthy and ESPN hired him, and Rick Scott came back and go, you got to get rid of Michael Kay. That's not the guy. Awful. Just awful. Yeah. Yeah.
And
As they say in Friends, okay?
where is Rick Scott now?
I don't know. I think he was outside panhandling.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Tim didn't listen.
Tim didn't. Well, Tim was the one who saw something in me that I didn't even know was there, and he thought I could be a radio talk show host. He took a chance. I mean, I was doing radio with John, the Yankee games, but he said, I think he could do a talk show. So that's how it
Yeah,
started.
I mean, it certainly helped that you were the voice of the Yankees, and they had just come off winning 4 championships in 5 years, and you were a name, and we were just trying to get recognized. But you know, people forgot that you covered the Nets all those years, college basketball. You were all over the map sports-wise, but it really helped a startup station to have someone as recognizable as you, and then instantaneously Yes comes in, and now your face is seen. So that was big time for us to get going.
Now, we're going to have like it's kind of a show and not a show. I mean, it's a celebration of the 20th anniversary, but we have a big weekend.
Yeah.
We have a big weekend. First of all, you got to get off the ground after that 3-point pick. How many people in this big crowd think the Giants are going to win this weekend?
That's a lot of people.
Wow. How many people think the Jets are going to win? Wow. Wayne Corbett here.
That's right. All right, Wade.
Now, what do you think?
How about this? Like, clearly the Giants are in a rebuild, right? I mean, they didn't do anything at the deadline. So it'd be nice for them to win. I do feel like there's a comeuppance coming, and maybe it will when the schedule gets tougher. This team scores a lot of points. It'll really test the defense. I'm not sure. I won't touch the game, but I'm not sure. But for the Jets, I think they have to win.
Well,
and I think they should win. They're a better. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. No, seriously, because they're a legit team. They have 6 wins legitimately, I think, and the quarterback's holding them back a bit. But you know, the New England Patriots don't have the talent the Jets do. And the Jets are coming off a bye, and I think the kid was just a little overwhelmed by the moment, but if he is truly the quarterback they think he is, that wasn't Bill Belichick's mysticism that confused him in that game a couple of weeks ago. He just had an awful game.
The Jets defense did enough that day, which is the strong suit of this team. The Jets defense did enough to win that game. All they needed was a pedestrian performance from Zach Wilson. They didn't get it from him that day.
They got a Rick Scott performance.
They got a Rick Scott performance,
Yeah.
or as Rick Scott saw Michael Kay performance.
Right.
But if they are able to simply get a no major mistake day from Zach Wilson, I do think they win.
Well, because listen, and when you look around the National Football League, there's not too many impressive defenses. The Jets' defense is impressive. They just shut down Josh Allen. So why would you allow Mac Jones to beat you in a big spot? The door's open for this division. Now, Miami's got, I think, a better quarterback and a better offense, but do they have the defense the Jets do? So they're kicking it old school here, and you're starting to see it in the NFL now. The teams that don't have the quarterback are finding other ways to win because of their defense, because of their running game. Two things the Jets do well. So the only reason we're in awe of this game is because it's Bill Belichick. They should have been up 17-3 at the half the last time. They shot themselves in the foot. Don't do it now. If they do it, it's on them. They're the better team. They should win this game, and they better.
But
or I'll kill them on Monday.
The bottom line is, we gave you the stats yesterday. First and second year quarterbacks in Foxborough, they just don't do well. So, I mean, he has to play a clean game in order for them to win.
He has to play a clean game. And if he can't play the clean game, then I don't know if this team's really going to go anywhere this year. Because this is a winnable game.
I just think it's unbelievable if we're really honest about the way we were all talking, and Don and I all summer, and Michael too, about what we thought of this Jets team this year. You have to take a moment to just give them props for where they are. Like this is, let's be realistic, guys. You were not thinking about a division at Thanksgiving. And now you can reasonably, as a Jets fan, think that if Josh Allen continues to play the way he's played at times over the last 3 games, you can go for this division. I'm sorry, you got to give props to Robert Saleh and this team. They've put together something special.
And this isn't the Bucs winning the South, where it's just a lousy division and somebody has to win. You can make the case that the AFC East is the best division.
It's right there.
It's right there. Dolphins are playing terrific football. You've got the Buffalo Bills look like a team, or at least did look like a team that can go to the Super Bowl. You know, the Patriots went to the playoffs last year. They got crushed in the game, but they went to the playoffs. So if the fact that they're fighting for the division that is looked upon as one of the best divisions in football, doesn't that tell you that there's an air of legitimacy to this team?
There is.
Yeah.
I really believe there is. And if they had an established veteran quarterback, I think they could run away with the division, but they don't.
They don't.
And he's going to hold them back a lot. And as for New England wants to make the playoffs too. And obviously, Bill Belichick knows how to do this, and he knows how to scheme, and he knows how to confuse people. So I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, should they win? Yes. Are they going to win? I'm not quite certain.
Well, here's what would scare me just a little bit, because you do respect Belichick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to the sound coming out of Foxborough this week?
No, I haven't heard anything.
They're talking up the Jets, best team in football, best defense.
Well, that's what Belichick does.
That's what he does.
But what it also shows me is that he probably figures we played like garbage. We could have been down 70-3. We got to take this team seriously, because you have to take this team seriously. If Bill Belichick feels the Jets are somebody to be taken seriously, doesn't that tell you that they're a legit team?
Who's more likely to win, the Giants or the Jets? If one's going to win, who's more likely to win?
Well, obviously, the easy answer is the Giants, because the Lions are not a very good football team.
But they're a really good offensive team.
But they're a good offensive team.
And the Giants don't score over 30 points.
And the Giants aren't as good as the Jets. I'm sorry, they're not. The Jets are the better team. Sorry. The Giants to me do not have many sure victories on their schedule.
I'm going to reverse those boos on you. I'm going to defend you here. The Jets are the more talented team. I don't know if Saleh's a better coach.
No, the Giants are the better coach team.
But that's part of it. Like, so they'll devise a scheme to make it work, but the talent's there. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys agree. I think the jury's still out on Saleh. I mean, right now everybody's in love, but we saw what happened last year. He's a neophyte coach too. Now, I'm not saying that Dable's clearly better, but I think he's had the better year because he's had to work with a lot less.
Let me ask you a question.
Saleh.
Let me ask you guys a question. Of the 3 phases of the game, do the Giants have anything that approximates talent-wise what the Jets' defense is?
Giant defense is pretty good.
It is good.
But it's a full notch below the Jets' defense talent.
It's pretty good defense.
Well, it's starting to emerge now with the games that Lawrence has had recently. You've got a healthy Leonard, right? So Leonard Williams. It's starting to look like it could be. It's close. It's closer than you think.
No, I agree. They're very. I don't know. Listen, I'm not trying to diss the Giants. Honestly, I don't hate the Giants as much as one would think. I hate the Eagles and Cowboys significantly more. I don't know if you guys saw what happened on Monday night. The Commanders won. But I don't hate the Giants. I think they're really talented. I mean, I think they have a big future. I don't think it's this year.
We've got a lot of guests coming up, so these guys are going to really have to adhere to the clock, so it's going to be tough.
23, all right. We did all right.
23, that's 1 minute over. Anyway,
pretty good.
We are celebrating the 20th anniversary, and I think special credit has to go to the guy who put the station together. We've mentioned him already, and that's Tim McCarthy. And when Tim McCarthy actually put this station together and had it rolling the way he wanted to, we were crushing the competition in all of the parts. And then all of a sudden, there were changes made, and Tim, for some reason or another, which I've never figured out, is no longer with us. I know he's listening. Our appreciation, all three of them, toward him. I don't know if we could thank him enough for what he's done for us and what he did in building the station. This is his baby. I know it's probably difficult for him to watch it walk without him here, and it's difficult for us as well. But thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim,
for everything that you did as well.
Changed my life.
All right, we also have we got an unbelievable guest list. We have Nick Mangold first.
Oh, Nick Mangold.
He's here.
He's here
Nick
right now.
Mangold's here.
Where is he?
No, he'll be here in a sec. He's not up there with Lincoln. Anyway, he'll be here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break. We thank everybody here for coming out on a cold Friday and braving Manhattan. Thank you very much. We're going to have a good time today, and it's going to be wild at 7 o'clock. It's Kay LaGreca Rosenberg, and most of all, you, right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly.
1, 2, ding 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 tiki 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 cow ding 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 ding.
One, two. He loops that to left field. Going to be a tough play. Jeter on the run, makes the play. Wow. And flies into the stands. Oh, what a play by Derek Jeter. That one's driven into right center field. Giving chases Millar. He can't get there. Sierra's going to round third. They're going to send him home. Here he comes. He scores. The Yankees have tied the game at 4. Oh, my goodness. What a game. That one's drilled deep to left field. The Yankees will win the game. A pinch hit single for Flaherty. That's one of the greatest games you will ever see. The Yankees win 5-4 in 13 innings. Oh, what a game.
News, rumors, innuendo, all rolled into a big, tasty burrito.
There are certainly a lot of question marks.
Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Now I'm a free agent. We'll see what happens.
There's no off-season like the baseball off-season.
Watch an all-new episode of Yankees Hot Stove, Monday at 7 on Yes and the Yes app.
Ukraine remains under attack. Millions of people have fled, creating the fastest-growing refugee crisis in modern history. Children and families are seeking safety. AmeriCares is responding with critical medicine and supplies, and we're working alongside local partners to get aid where it's most needed. For more than 40 years, AmeriCares has met health needs after natural disasters and in humanitarian crises. We know health is essential for everyone's future. Now AmeriCares is protecting the health of children and adults caught in this terrible crisis. In Ukraine and in the surrounding countries, there is a critical need for medicines, medical supplies, and ongoing health care. So let's work together. Together, we can improve health. Together, we can save lives. Learn how at americares.org/help Ukraine.
Greatness can't be bought. Greatness must be earned, self-created, and self-defined. Not something you're born with, but something you become, something you reveal, something you set free. Greatness frustrates, it motivates. Greatness intimidates and inspires. But most of all, greatness wins.
Welcome to DraftKings Casino, the home of blackjack. Get in on the thrill of the hit, the split, the double down. Enjoy the largest library of blackjack games in the industry at your fingertips. Spanish 21, Live Dealer, Vacation Blackjack, Retro Blackjack, and much more. Download the DraftKings Casino app, use the promo code, and get $50 in free casino credits when you deposit $25. Action's so good, why play blackjack anywhere else?
Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now? Right now.
50% off, honey, right now!
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
What's happening in the new NBA app? What isn't happening?
Watch this.
Because this is Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Oh, stop it. Being up to speed at the speed of all access to all the above.
And that's all day.
Big stops, bigger shots, passes behind the back, to peeks behind the scenes, in every moment in between.
Because if it's happening in the new NBA app.
You gon' step into this ring with some heavyweights.
Kevin Durant putting on a show. John Morant, what a highlight.
We ain't backing down. That's a promise. That's a promise.
If you're like me, you'd rather talk about basketball or anything other than prostate cancer. But we can't be silent when it comes to our own health. Prostate cancer affects 1 in 8 men in the U.S. I beat it because I was screened and it was detected early. Prostate cancer is often passed on through families. The NBA and the Prostate Cancer Foundation are asking you and your loved ones to know your risks and get screened. Go to pcf.org/getscreened to learn more.
Get trending with off-field fashion as designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Off-field fashion, exclusively on the S app.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. We love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
870 ESPN, driven by Ramsey Mazda, and a guy who's been on the show for many years when he was a player, and now he makes this great barbecue sauce. Nick Mangold is here with us, former Jet, Ring of Honor. Nick, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing great. Now, I was at the game when you got into the Ring of Honor. What did it mean?
It was something that was very special to be able to do that with my family, to know that my name's going to be up there. It was crazy. The week before, I'm doing an interview with a guy. He's like, what do you think it's going to mean to you when you know that your grandchildren are going to be able to go to either MetLife or whatever stadium is after and see your name up there? I was like, well, my kids are 11 to 4. Grandchildren is nowhere near my mind. So it blew my mind, and I was like, this is crazy. So actually seeing it up there really hit home.
And I've said it, and I don't know all the ins and outs and how hard it is to get to the Hall of Fame, but I look at you, and you're a Hall of Fame center. You are. I mean, you're one of the, and honestly, and I'm not saying that because you're here, because you guys know I've backed it up. You're one of the top 5 players in the history of the organization. I never saw anybody play the way that you played in your entire career here, stabilizing an offensive line that was one of the major reasons why you guys went to back-to-back championship games.
Well, I appreciate that. I need to come around here more often. This is much better than my kids yelling at me. Daddy, you made the steak wrong.
How much joy do you get seeing the team in a good spot right now? You were there for great years. You were there for lean years. How does it feel to see them playing so well?
It's fantastic. And going to the games and being with the fans and everything, being able to do the tailgate stuff that I do, there's so much passion right now for the team, and everyone's so excited. And it's neat seeing, when you're walking down the streets and seeing somebody with a Jets hat on and having a little bit of pride to it. It's good to see again.
All right, so they're going to be in Foxborough on Sunday after losing to the Patriots 2 weeks ago at MetLife. So what does Bill Belichick do that bedevils a quarterback?
He takes away your strength. And now you have to play with your weakness as your strength. And that's a thing he's been doing forever and that he's very good at. And so he's going to take away, what the Jets do well, and he's going to make Zach Wilson, I think, perform in the air with his arm. And, I think Zach is up to the pressure. You see him gain some of that confidence in the Buffalo game. Now, after the bye, being able to, rest and kind of get a look at what you're doing coming into New England, which is a tough place to play. It's going to be a big challenge for him.
Well, the Jets are trying to do what you guys did in 2009 and 2010, and that's try to win and also develop a young quarterback. How difficult was that to do?
It's tricky because, you want to win, and, to win you need to be able to run the ball, but you also want to develop your quarterback at the same time. So it's definitely a difficult balance to do, and I think they're doing it the right way. He seems to be growing. He's definitely grown from last year to this year. And so I think as long as he keeps growing, that will be the key to the success of the Jets.
What's the thing that blows you away the most about? Did you expect them to be in this? If they win Sunday, they're in first place on Thanksgiving. Did you expect it this year, this quick?
You always do. Like I have my future bet in for the Jets and winning the Super Bowl. But it's one of those things you want to see marked improvement, and I think they're doing that. And I think last year, having a lot of young guys and a lot of inexperience, I think they learned from that, and that's why that defense is flying around and doing so well, which also helps the offense and doesn't put as much pressure. Like, hey, we got to go score points. What
do you think of Saleh?
I like him. I really do. Like and not just because our kids play sports together, because that is a nice little help. But he's a coach who is a player's coach, but he's also very demanding. And so I think that's a good combination right there.
Do you miss playing? Every ex-player that I ask this question, they say they don't miss playing so much. They miss being part of a team. They miss the locker room, the clubhouse. What is it with you?
That's exactly the same. I don't miss playing football. I like waking up in the morning and feeling pretty good. But I do miss the guys in the locker room, the camaraderie, jokes that are being thrown around. I miss the hot tub, cold tub. Like, you can't just create that in the house that much.
Okay.
And, the Jets have really good soups.
They have good soup?
Really?
Wow.
Really good soups.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So those are the three things I miss the most.
What is the adjustment like at first, though? Like, over your career, you have a decade where you go away in the summer, late in the summer. You don't really have any consistency at home for 6 months, which of course is sad, but you're also having fun. How hard is that adjustment at first when you're like, well, I guess I'm just home now?
Well, Tom Brady lasted 40 days.
Exactly, because it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. That was the thing. Like, you finish the season, and you have a definite time that you were going back, and you knew, like, all right, training camp starts this time, mini camp and everything, so you knew. And when that first offseason, we were like, I don't know, like, when am I going to miss it? And that actually never came for me, which was kind of nice.
Okay, interesting. Greg Butler used to say to me that he got paid to practice. He played for free. Is there truth to that?
I could see that. That's not bad. I got paid to play.
Yeah.
Taking every dollar.
Yeah, I did not like practice. I was not a big practice fan.
Tell us about this. Is this a business of yours now?
This is Mangold 74 BBQ. We have an OG, and I brought the spicy here for you guys today.
Well, I'm going to take Michael's. Don't even waste his time.
I like.
You like barbecue?
Yeah, I can do this.
The spicy?
Yeah.
Guys, do you think he's going to eat the barbecue sauce?
I'll drink it right out of the bottle.
I do not recommend doing that.
Don't do that?
I lost a bet and had to take a shot of barbecue sauce.
The hot one?
It's not good.
Was it the hot one?
It was the hot one.
Oh, wow.
And it's a very thick consistency because it's delicious. And, and it's my own recipe. I made it up in my kitchen. I still have the notebook where I was writing it down. And so, like, trying to take a shot and just, like, get stuck in your throat. And
so I shouldn't do it.
No. You're off the hook. You're off the hook.
You can eat it. Please do.
You can eat it? Okay.
Chicken tender, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Drinking it, yeah.
People want to shop, Michael.
So when did this come to be? I mean, it just over time, and you started using it at home at barbecuing and said, I could sell this.
Yeah, so that was, I started doing it. I got big into barbecue while I was playing, and then when I got done, it was like, all right, let's find something to do. And, there was something fun that I got to do. Right now I have the OG and the spicy, which are coordinate with my two sons. I want to get two more out for my daughters, so that, we have 4 sauces. And we started back in 2019. And, the pandemic, I think, set us back a little bit. Sure. Slow things. Because you can't, like, how do you sell barbecue sauce when you're like, I can't come see you to try it?
Right.
A little tricky.
So where do people buy this?
So right now we are switching over our online sales. So it'll be back online very soon. But local areas, Pastosas, they carry it. Some of the ShopRites. We have a couple local places. So really, the big thing is trying to get it out to the people and saying, hey, like, go to your grocery store and say, hey, I want Mangold 74 barbecue sauce. Talk to the manager. That way they call us and we can get it to them.
Do you ever envision when this makes you a billionaire getting into coaching?
I don't think it'll make me a billionaire as things are going, but coaching would be fun. I think the highest level, though, I think I would want to do is high school. My wife and I talk about this all the time.
Well, that's great, though. Got Jeff Saturday a head coaching job.
Exactly. I know. Well, I'm qualified now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm qualified. I'm qualified.
Hey, he's undefeated, Mike.
He is. He's batting 1,000. So,
so you have done some high school coaching?
I've done up to 4th grade.
Okay.
So I've got 4th grade coaching.
And you like it?
It's fun. It's neat seeing the kids playing the game just to play the game and have fun with it. Like, after going through college and professional, you see kind of the sausage being made, and it's business.
Right.
Going back to when kids are just like, oh, it's me and my buddies from school going out to play football. Like, it's nice. Like, it's re-energizing of enjoying the sport.
Who did you hate to play against the most?
Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
But I mean, we went 23 times. I think we went against each other. That's a lot of
He
battles.
was enormous. How did?
Yeah, he was.
I mean, you're a big man, but he was bigger than you.
Oh, he was definitely bigger. And the tough part with him is obviously you see the size, but his athletic ability was amazing. Word on the street, there was a rumor going around that he could still dunk a basketball. I was like, there's no way. And so then we ended up getting a defensive line coach who was out at New England. I was like, I have to ask, could Vince Wilfork actually dunk a basketball? He said, if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it.
So he was close to 4 bills.
Had to be.
Right?
He was listed at 330, but that was
that's always a lie.
That was a lie.
Yeah. So let's say 350 for argument's sake.
We'll say
and he's soaring up there and dunking.
Dunking, yeah.
Oh, that's an athlete, man.
That's an athlete.
So were there just certain people that you'd go up against that by the time the ball was snapped, you're just, if they're that good, is it like an almost impossible task? Like, how hard is that if someone's that fast and that big and that athletic to be able to block them?
I mean, I couldn't dunk a basketball, but I thought I would be able to hold my own. So that's why I think the battles were so great, because I believe that we were two really good players going against each other. And you get past the physical side, now you're getting into the mental side of, I know what he's going to try to do, he knows what I'm going to try to do, and how we're going to counter that. And a lot of fun battles.
Is center the hardest position on the field to you?
Obviously.
And requires the smartest player.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you like Rex Ryan?
I loved Rex.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You loved playing for him?
I loved playing for him. He was a riot. He after Mangini, where it was very business and very, this is how things are going to be, him coming back in and realizing that football is still fun. Like, we can have fun. It can still be a business, but we can have fun with it. Was huge.
Yeah, and Mangini didn't seem like he had much fun. Anyway, go out and get this. We thank you for coming by. It's so nice of you on the 20th anniversary.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. And congratulations to you guys.
Thank
it was
you
fantastic.
so much. Thank you so much.
Great achievement. I never made 20 years, so I only got 11 in.
Yeah, but your 11 is worth 30.
Yeah, well said. Maybe more.
All right, Mike Greenberg's going to join us in just a moment. Nick Meingold, everybody's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, and we'll be back on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
10 years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. But we didn't stop with shirts. We also created so much more, from polos to sweaters to pants. We even have a line just for her, so everyone can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Shop our Thanksgiving weekend sale at untuckit.com today.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
When you support City Harvest, you feed hope, love, and joy. You feed confidence, community, and comfort. You feed health, strength, and spirit. When you support City Harvest, you do more than just provide hundreds of millions of pounds of food to millions of hungry New Yorkers. When you support City Harvest, you feed good.
It's a season for the ages.
What a year. Just a magical season.
Done it again. A walk-off by Aaron Judge. Drove deep to left field. Number 60. Number 61. 62. He's done it. He has done it.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
He has worked the count full. Well, Mays has to throw him a pitch over the plate, otherwise he walks in a run. Posada is on deck. Yankees lead 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Action in the Twins bullpen. That one's hit deep to right field. Going back to Dyer, looking up. See ya! A grand slam for Hideki Matsui. And the Yankees lead 7-1. What an introduction to Yankee Stadium.
Welcome to DraftKings Casino, the home of blackjack. Get in on the thrill of the hit, the split, the double down. Enjoy the largest library of blackjack games in the industry at your fingertips. Spanish 21, live dealer, vacation blackjack, retro blackjack, and much more. Download the DraftKings Casino app, use the promo code, and get $50 in free casino credits when you deposit $25. Action so good, why play blackjack anywhere else?
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the Yes app now. It's more than just a game.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce. Looking up. See ya. 3,000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3,000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes,
I feel good. I feel set up for success.
to relaxation, to finding the proper balance.
So fresh.
Let's get well, New York. I am so excited to get into this. Do it. Woo! Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Well, the Mike K Show 20th anniversary show on 98.7 ESPN brought to you by the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 877-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Now, because I'm a hack, I did not close out the Gang Green report, but it does lead right into our next guest. Gang Green report driven by Ramsey Mazda. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. I don't think we have to introduce this next guest to the people here on Broadway. But to people that are listening on radio, they certainly might want to hear that our good friend, the great Mike Greenberg, has made his way across town to join us here at the Palladium. And I don't want to get mushy, but when we were struggling, and, you know, Greeny's a big star. He never big-timed us or anything like that. Every time we asked him to be on the show, he would. He's just a mensch. He's a great guy, and we thank you for all those years of doing that.
Well, I'm very proud of you guys. Congratulations. It's an extraordinary accomplishment. You have been the best show in this city for 20 years, and I say that as a listener more than anything else, beyond being a friend. You guys know, particularly, I've now moved to the city as my kids are off in college, but when we lived in Connecticut, I was, you know what life is like in the suburbs. You're in your car constantly, so you guys kept me company everywhere I went, as my kids went from being very little to being old enough to yell at you on the radio. My son is disagreeing with the things you say, and it was great.
Love it.
And Greeny wasn't just accommodating with his time. He's somebody that actually believed in the station. I mean, you were a national guy, but you listened to the station. You'd call in if you disagreed with something that we said. And I really felt comfortable, because there's that disconnect between network and local. It was always a struggle that we had in the early portion of the station, for sure. And you kept that connection because you were one of the biggest shows in the country. You're in the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes. Well, there you go.
That's right. Two Halls of Fame.
Let's not miss. Wait, what's the second one?
Well, we're in the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame and the National Radio Hall.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, Hall of Fame.
Let's not shortchange the Hall of Fame.
And Peter, he'd come in and fill in. I did shows with him when Michael would be away on vacation, and it was... That really helped.
I always enjoyed it, and you know, there are wonderful things and challenging things about everything. So when you do a nationally syndicated show, as I have always done in radio, well, in everything, I guess, since I left Chicago in the late '90s, which is where I used to work locally, I miss the opportunity to reach out and touch people like you guys are doing here, and to take to talk directly about the teams that matter the most to me, particularly the Jets, who play a monster game this weekend. And I tweeted at the beginning of the week, this game scares me to death because I'm so convinced that we're going to win. And that generally speaking, things always tend to go much better for the Jets when I'm convinced things are going to go badly. And I think most Jet fans probably understand when I say that the fact that I genuinely believe we are finally going to beat them in that place for the first time in 14 years.
2 weeks ago you didn't, in your place.
That's correct, and that is one of the many things that is. The Jets are definitively a better team. I mean, man for man, up and down the roster, the Jets are definitely better than the Patriots. They had two things working against them in that game. First, that was the first game after Breece Hall got hurt, and I think that really hurt as they were trying to figure out how they were going to handle the running game. They've had 2 weeks, including a bye, to figure that out. That should help. But the second piece of it, and Don and I were just talking in the back room, Bill Belichick basically just sat back and said, I'm not going to let you run the ball, and I'm going to count on the fact that your kid quarterback is going to throw it to me. And that's exactly what he did. And that's what drove me so crazy, because the Jets should have won that game 5 different ways, despite the fact that there was the terrible call, that wipes out the pick six. The Jets win the game anyway if that call doesn't get made. But if Zach just doesn't do that, if Zach doesn't give them the game, which I do not believe he will do, I believe he will learn from what happened, then I think the Jets are better than them in every way and should absolutely
I agree.
win.
I'm with you.
You guys are going to love this story. You brought up the last time they won in Foxborough. Brett Favre was the quarterback, 2008.
Right.
Tell us how you consumed that game.
So I had to do the evening Sports Center in those days, and then I was doing Mike and Mike the following morning. So I would stay up in Bristol, and I watched the first half in my office in Bristol. Then I drove back to the hotel, to get ready for bed. I was going to watch the second half in bed in my hotel room. I find out then, to my horror, that whatever channel the game was on Thursday nights then, I don't think there was even an NFL Network then, whatever it is, my hotel doesn't have it. So I cannot watch the game. So I called the hotline of ESPN. I think we were still 1050 then. I don't think it was 98.7. I called the hotline and I said, hey, it's Greeny. Put me on hold. And I sat there and I listened to Bob Wischusen call the second half of the Jet game and the night that Favre beat them. And that's who would have known? There were no iPhones the last time that we won a game in Foxborough. This Sunday is going to be the next one.
Do you realize, Mike, that if you guys win on Sunday, you'll enjoy Thanksgiving in first place?
I will enjoy Thanksgiving, period. You could have ended the sentence there. If we win, then I will enjoy Thanksgiving. Look, this season has been so far beyond, I think, the wildest realistic imagination of any Jet fan. That and I hear Rick and Dave Rothenberg talking about this a lot early in the morning. I don't like how this has become about, well, if they don't make the playoffs, then it'll have been a disappointment and all that sort of thing. That's a layer that I don't think we need. This team is already well ahead of schedule. And if the quarterback develops, which is still the most important thing that has to happen this season, the Jets have a chance next year, I think, to compete for everything. I mean, literally to be a Super Bowl contender. The quarterback just has to get there. I don't know that how many games they win the rest of the way this year actually impacts that as much as it might seem. So I don't want the players on the team, I don't want any of the vibe around it to feel as though it was a disappointment if they wind up 10-7 and miss the playoffs this year. If you had told a Jet fan before the season started they were going to win 10 games, I would have said you were out of your mind. It has been a sensational season.
So what would be your preference? If this Sunday the Jets win in spite of Zach Wilson, who plays around the same or slightly, but let's be realistic, because slightly better than the last game, but they win the game, or they lose, but Zach absolutely steps up, has a great day, no interceptions, and looks like the man for the job.
I almost think that's impossible.
It's a great, what it is a great question. This is why Rosenberg is so good. It's a very good question. In this particular case, you want to win the game. So, I mean, I'll win the game however you win the game. But the mere fact that you ask the question, I think, tells you everything you need. The most important thing that has to happen is that at the end of this season, all of us feel, because it has to be so obvious, that Zach Wilson is on his way to being a terrific quarterback. That's the most important thing that can happen.
Because you don't want to relive 09 and 2010, because that's what it was. You were good enough to win.
Right.
You didn't have the quarterback to do it. Because you said only the quarterback. Well, that's what it's all about, right? I think they've got a championship caliber defense. I think the offensive line has come around. They can run the ball. They've got weapons. So they've got to find out if they have a quarterback. And as much as I agree with you, you wouldn't be disappointed if they missed the playoffs. If they miss the playoffs because of the quarterback play, you'll go into next year not knowing.
Right.
And not knowing about your quarterback is really not knowing about your football
That's
team.
what I mean. I mean, we're sort of saying the same thing, but from different angles. If we don't know about our quarterback going into next year, then whether we make the playoffs or not is not nearly as significant as would otherwise seem. So we need the kid to play well. Look, the best case scenario is that he does, that he makes improvement. We still have almost half a season to go. It feels like we've come so far. There's a lot of football left to be played. If he continues to improve steadily and realistically, and the Jets wind up making the playoffs, win a playoff game, then this will have been one of the great seasons the franchise has had in a very long time, and it really could be the springboard towards something special.
What do you think about the Giants season so far?
It's a miracle. I think that they should rename the Coach of the Year award the Brian Daboll Award and just give it to somebody else every year. This is the best coaching job I've ever seen. I still can't believe they're doing it. I also am having fights with everybody, as obviously with my Giant fan friend, Mr. LaGreca, on Get Up every single morning. I think Saquon Barkley is the MVP of the league. I really do. He is the only thing they have offensively, and everyone knows it, and they still can't stop him. I think right now, with that team 7-2, I think Saquon Barkley should be a top 3 MVP candidate.
This is why I need to learn from Greeny as a broadcaster, because we said similar things. By him saying that Daboll they should rename the award, he's essentially saying, team's not that talented. Right. Coaching's incredible. The difference is you didn't say that part. I'm stupid. I focus on the lack of talent. But you're right. It is the coaching that is just incredible.
They have good players on defense.
They do.
They do.
And the offensive line has obviously gotten much better, and that's been the biggest problem a long time. I think if you were to inject Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll with truth serum and say, do you think Daniel Jones is going to be your quarterback whenever the time comes that you make the push towards what you believe this team can ultimately achieve? I would be surprised if the answer was yes. I don't know that it isn't yes, but I would be surprised if they think that. I think they're punching way above their weight.
The only thing that you could say in defense of Jones is they don't have a lot of weapons. But they've designed an offense to say, we're going to try to squeeze as much as we can of this guy. But a few months ago, they didn't give him the 50-year option. They don't believe.
They don't not have a lot of weapons. They don't have any weapons. I am a professional sportscaster for 30 years, and I live in the city, and I don't know who the people he's throwing the ball to are.
That game against Houston felt like a preseason game.
Who is Lawrence Cager? I don't even know who this is. I'm reading the name L. Cager on my phone. I'm trying to figure out who just scored a touchdown, and could I possibly have him on DraftKings? I have no idea what it costs, like $1,100 on DraftKings. Daniel Jones is playing by himself out there. Look, he's been terrific. He has earned himself a job somewhere.
He has.
But I don't know. I think that this Giant team could be a very attractive spot for the next disgruntled quarterback out there, wherever that guy may decide he wants to go.
You have the NBA tonight? Who do you have?
We have the Knicks, actually, in our late game. Knicks Warriors is the late game.
Looking for 3 straight.
The early game is Bucks Sixers, so Embiid against Giannis.
That's not bad.
You know, it's a good night.
Yeah, absolutely a good night. Now, 20 years we're celebrating. I just have to ask you this personally, and I think for Don as well. Your kids are no longer in the house.
Yeah.
Do you miss them?
Yeah, you miss them in the weirdest of times. Like Sundays is when I really miss, particularly my son Steven. Like, you know, I became very accustomed to watching particularly the Jets, but all football with him. And, you know, my wife does the best she can, but she doesn't make the same level of interesting comments that Stevie always made during these games. So, yes, you don't miss them all the time. It's not a constant,
right.
You know, it's not like an ache in my life that never goes away. But there are moments when you think to yourself, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's a terrible analogy to make. I'm going to bring the whole room down. But if you know, when my father died, like, I don't sit around missing him every minute of the day. But then every now and again, I think to myself, something happens. I'm going to give my dad a call, and then it's moments like that, like where you realize you're going home, and no, my kids aren't going to be there. But I'll see them this week, so that'll be very nice.
Well, we thank you for coming by. I know you're very busy
today. Let me say one thing very quickly. I don't want to.
That's okay.
There's a reason this show works. I'm going to tell everybody what it is. People. They use the word chemistry a lot, and chemistry is something that is very difficult to predict, but to me it is very easy to define, even though people, particularly executives in our business, seem to have a very difficult time understanding this. Chemistry is a very simple thing, and the three of you guys have it. If you didn't have chemistry, then the sum total of your show would be Michael plus Don plus Peter. That's what you would equal. Because you have chemistry, the show is Michael times Don times Peter. You all make each other better. That's why this is the best show in New York, and congratulations to you all.
And you're the best.
Thank you. And I know you're busy today to make time for us. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. I wouldn't have missed it.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much. You got it. Coming up, Hall of Famer Joe Torre will join us right here at the Palladium. We thank Mike Greenberg. We'll come back on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Happy holidays, Cyrus.
Sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I wanna stop. Thank you, baby. Just wanna stop and thank you. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
If you were diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call the law firm of Weitz and Luxembourg, who, for the last 30 years, has achieved record-breaking New York City mesothelioma and lung cancer verdicts for thousands of your neighbors and coworkers. It does make a difference which law firm you hire, so choose wisely and call Weitz and Luxembourg today. Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
10 years ago, we started Untuckit out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuck It, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Shop our Thanksgiving weekend sale at untuckit.com today.
Check it out.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help.
We're about to start the meeting. Welcome to anyone new.
For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Hundreds of thousands of people in New Jersey face hunger.
Now, more than ever.
Together with our 800-plus agency partners.
Now, more than ever.
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is fighting hunger.
Now, more than ever.
This holiday season, in a time when the need is so great, you can help our hungry neighbors by going to cfbnj.org.
The Giants. Congratulations on the 20th year of the Michael Kay Show. And congratulations to Don and Peter, too. 20 years in this marketplace is an impressive accomplishment. We wish you and Don and Peter all the best and look forward to congratulating you on future milestones.
Oh, thank you, John.
That's nice.
That was nice of Mr. Mara.
Man, class.
Yeah.
All class.
I know that means a lot to you,
That
Don.
does mean a lot. That's pretty cool, man. John
Pretty
Mara,
cool.
Wow.
All right, so let's go over things. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary, and our first guest was Nick Mangold.
Sure was.
Who we think is on a fast track to Canton. He'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big boy.
Now, Mike Greenberg told us he's in 2 Hall of Fames.
Double Hall of Famer, yeah.
But to me, the most important Hall of Fame
That's right.
is the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I disagree, but go ahead.
It is, in Cooperstown. And our next guest is right here, and he is a Hall of Famer and a 4-time World Series manager of the New York Yankees. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Torre in the house. Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Joe, when you walk out, you got a standing ovation from the crowd on Broadway. Did that happen before you won the 4 championships, or did that help?
No, I was able to get through a crowd without a problem.
Well, thank you for coming down. We appreciate it.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here for you, Michael, and 20 years. I mean, our foundation and your show coincide. Our Safe and Home Foundation just celebrated our 20th year also. So I'm happy to be here. You'll always be special for me. You know, you were there during a very special time in my career, my life, and I'll never forget that.
Well, thank you, Joe. Your Safe at Home Foundation dinner was last week, and you made a comment when you were talking to the crowd that when you take a phone call, you never say no. When you ask somebody to come to that, no one ever says no. And then you had all those people on the stage. I mean, it was amazing, the talent that was on the stage. What does that mean to have those relationships? Forget about the titles. To call up Derek Jeter and have him be there.
It meant a lot. I mean, the fact that, first of all, they answer the call and then they say I'll be there, and again, with our foundation, the kind of support we get, and you know how important it is to have celebrities, especially the Yankee players there, because that's what the fans really come to see, and it's still very emotional for me. Yeah, because I'm hesitant in asking, basically because, people have a day off or a night off, and they have things to do. Everybody has, personal things to take care of, but they make time for us, and that's always meant a great deal.
I'm always interested to get, what was the turning point for you? I mean, you come to New York, you were a manager in other places, including my Mets, and then it all comes together, 4 championships in 5 years. Were you just a better manager with the Yankees than the other places, or did something click? Did you make an adjustment? What just turned it all around for you as a skipper?
That's a good question. When I came, because I'm 100 games under 500 at this point in time, and I was aware of the criticism that George was getting for hiring me because of my record. And it didn't bother me. I figured this would be a chance to find out if I can really do this stuff. Because I'm sensitive, and I'm sure managers are when they say they don't hear the boos or they don't know about the criticism. You're aware of it all. And there are times, you know, when you manage and maybe it's not as good as you wanted it to be, that you say, is there something I could do differently or better or whatever? And I came to answer your question, or start answering your question, Don, is the fact that and the most important meeting for me was going to be the first meeting with my team in spring training. Now, not the pitchers and the catchers, but when the whole group was there. And I was really questioning myself as far as how am I going to go about this? And you know, you hear the echoing of, you know, your player's manager now. A player's manager, if you lose, it's a bad thing. If you win, it's a good thing.
Right.
Okay. And I was trying to think of things I could do differently. Be tough. You're not tough enough, and all this stuff. So, and it was really, I was losing sleep in spring training trying to put something together. And I remember going to exercise, and I was on the Stairmaster, and I was looking through pages of a book, and it was Bill Parcells, one of his motivational books. And at the top of one of the pages, it said, "If you believe in what you do, stay with it." I closed the book, and I said, first off, especially in our sport, because it's every single day, that if I was trying to be someone other than who I was going to be exposed for it. And I just felt that over the years, and I had managed, you know, I had managed 3 different clubs. I had managed the Mets and the Braves and the Cardinals. And you know, so you feel you learn. I know I felt that I always had something to learn on a daily basis, and that goes for life too, basically. So when I had my meeting, I wrote down, like I always do. I mean, I just write down some key things and things I want to touch on. And the one thing that struck me was, you know, being aware, and I'm a football fan, you know, basketball, you know, hockey, and I've noticed that teams like will win a Super Bowl, and where are they the next year? You know, the Bears did the celebrating during the summer. You know, they went on all the shows and did all the music stuff, and then different clubs didn't manage to validate, I like to say, you know, what they just did. So I said to the players, I said, first off, everybody on my coaching staff had been to a World Series. I haven't. I said, but I don't want to win one. I want to win 3 in a row. It's just what I said to them. And I said that not to show off in any way, but just to let them know that if you win, it's necessary to show people that, and show yourself that it wasn't a fluke. And that's, you know, basically. But again, you have to have the right audience.
Right.
And I had some grown-ups in that clubhouse.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Joe, is obviously we know how important Derek was to the team, but he was young at that point. Who were the veterans in that clubhouse that you leaned on to sort of help deliver the messages that you needed to get to the team?
Well, Don Zimmer, you know, I hired Zim. I hired Zim because this is the first opportunity I had to manage an American League team, and it's a whole different game. Not as much now as it was then, because you know, no DH, stuff like that. So I would bounce stuff off him and Mel Stottlemyre, who was, you know, aces, obviously. But it was really, player-wise, you know, you had Paul O'Neill, who I was familiar with. He was in the National League. You know, and other than that, Tino came over, you know, because Donnie had retired. and I was just doing it by feel at this point in time. And I can tell you one thing about Derek. You mentioned Derek's name. By August of '96, his first full year, the veteran players were looking for him to do something. They would, he was leading by that time. And again, not by doing anything other than playing every day and being ready to play every day.
Now, one of the genius moves that you made, I thought, because I covered the team.
Only one genius
one of
move?
them, I said.
Oh.
One of them. Because I covered Billy and Lou and Buck. And what I saw with all three of those guys is that they worried about the phone call from George Steinbrenner, and it ruined their day. And you, Joe's told these stories before. If you lost 3 in a row, you would call George Steinbrenner instead of waiting for the phone call. And I thought that was the genius way of dealing with it.
Well, first off, I played for three teams in my career. I managed those 3 teams in my career, and I was fired by those 3 teams in my career. I mean, what was George going to do? Fire me? I mean, that's my brother Frank, said you got to be crazy because you realize how many managers this guy has gone through, but it just had it in my head. I felt like I did a good job as a manager. We went to the playoffs in '82 with the Atlanta Braves. But there was really never anything that was overly significant to qualify me, in other words, as a good manager, because it's all about, statistics. And I just said, I want to find out if I can do this, and I know George wants to win badly, and he will, supply with the players. And, sometimes he went overboard. He would claim players off waivers just so another team couldn't get them, even though you didn't need them. And
did you guys ever have shouting matches with each other?
Just the one, and I forgot one of the pitcher. Who was? You may remember this. We were sending a pitcher down just to get himself back. And I was under the assumption we were sending him to AAA, and they would decide to send him down to Billy Connors down in Florida. And I just didn't know about it, and that's the only thing that bothered me. Here I am talking to the press about certain things. Not that I cared if he went one place or the other, but I didn't know. And the other thing was when we, what was it, in 2000, we claimed Canseco.
Right.
All right, I call Jose, and I'll tell you, he was very easy to manage, believe it or not, because I called him in first day, and it was one of those irrevocable, waiver things. Once you claim, you can't change, or the team can't change it back, and you can't change your mind. But George was afraid somebody else was going to get the benefit of what Jose could do. So I called Jose in the office. I said, I'm going to do the best I can to get you some at-bats. I said, but you're not going to play every day. And, and he said, well, I think, you're making a mistake, blah, blah, blah. But he respected my opinion, which is all I could ask for. Right. And the satisfying thing for me when, you look back and you look at the video from when we won the World Series there in Game 5. He was the first one on the pile out on the pitcher's mound.
Wow.
Which was pretty cool. He was a good teammate. I mean, he wanted to play more, but we had a pretty good team.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite championship?
96 has to be.
But you're wearing the 98 ring.
I know, I can't find my 96 ring.
But you have so many of them.
It's in the house somewhere. But no, I change it off once in a while. But the 96 team, first of all, was my first year with the Yankees. We weren't necessarily a favorite to do what we did. And I remember the first half of the year, you know, Joe Girardi is batting second in the lineup, and we'd squeeze bunt, which was driving George nuts, you know, because he wants to beat teams by 10 or 12 runs a day. And, you know, he says, I think you're doing this with mirrors, you know, and all that good stuff. But I think the 96 team really had this grit about them that was pretty special. I mean, that was a unit out there that was very special. I mean, I remember the one change we made, aside from getting Darryl at the All-Star break, was it was a game in Seattle, and Ruben Sierra. I didn't want to play him because he was playing the outfield. Ruben was playing the outfield. I started in spring training. I didn't want to be locked in to any one player as a DH. So I wanted him to play the outfield, and he was fine with it. But there's one game, and I forgot who the pitcher was for Seattle, and it wasn't like, I looked at the numbers, the stats, and he was 0 for something or 1 for 15, but there were a bunch of strikeouts. So that just stood out to me that, you know, he probably doesn't see this guy too well. And so I called him in and I said, Ruben, I said, you know, you're going to be out there tomorrow. I said, but today you don't handle this guy really well, and I'm going to play whoever I was going to play out there instead of him. He says, okay. He says, but why am I not playing? I said, well, let me do this again. And went through the whole thing with Ruben again, and he's shaking his head, and he's saying, okay. And he says, yeah, but why am I not playing? I said, well, I realized at that point in time, it wasn't that he didn't get it, he didn't want to get it.
Right.
And you know, we wound up trading him to Detroit for Cecil.
Yep.
And as you know what's going to happen, you know, he's going to come in with Detroit and he's going to beat our brains out, which he did. He either hit a home run, a double or something, but got the game-winning hit. And then probably my favorite quote, and you know, and obviously eventually Ruben came back, and he was a big plus to us coming off the bench. But you know, I guess the writers couldn't wait to get over there and talk to him after he beat us with a base hit. And he says, I like it over here, meaning Detroit. He says, all those guys want to do is win. If I'm going to be criticized,
guilty,
you know, that's fine with me. And then the next day, Phil Garner, the manager, come over to me. He said, he's going to find out we want to win too.
Now, you could tell the truth now, all these years later. When you first met Paul O'Neill, you couldn't have liked him, right?
You know, when I first met Paul O'Neill, I mean, the one thing about it, I liked him because he was a good hitter. And, you know, I got to know him later, and of course I threatened him a time or two, but he... you know, he was such a good hitter. And yeah, I remember someone had said to me he was a selfish player when I came over. And I said, well, I don't like to make up my mind on somebody else's opinion. So I said, we'll see. Well, you realize the guy wanted to get 4 or 5 hits a game. And, you know, you can be selfish all you want.
Helps the team win.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But when you think back of some of the things Paulie did during his stay here when I was here, not the least of which was this catch in right center field to end Game 5
on one leg
against the Braves. And that particular game, am I talking too much?
No.
What?
Nobody wants to hear us.
They love you, Joe.
They agree. I'm talking.
No, they want you to talk.
No, on that particular game, because you remember Andy Pettitte got beat up in Game 1, and I had come in. I had brought him in. He won 20 games that year for us, and you know, he came in. I said, "What happened?" He says, "I thought I had to do something more because it was the World Series. That was his first World Series." So we lose the first 2 games. Now we win, you know, David Cohn's game, Game 3, and then Game 4 was Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, yep.
And, you know, he got beat around a little bit, and we wind up winning that one. What was it, 10-8 or something?
With the Leyritz home run.
Whatever it was.
Right.
Leyritz tied it up, and then, you know, Boggs walked.
You
to the
saved
bases
Boggs,
loaded.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. But that particular, the game 5, we're tied at 2 now, and it's going to be Smoltz against Pettit. And, you know, I know it's easy. The easy thing to do, and you won't get second guessed, is to, you know, not play Cecil and play Tino at first base, and because there's no DH down in that in the National League Park. But Cecil was swinging the bat better than Tino. And then the other thing was Andy Pettit pitching, and Boggs' defense. You know, he was limited range-wise, and Charlie Hayes, you know, had better reach. And I called them both in, and I told them I called Boggs in, and I called Tino in, and I told them they weren't playing, and I'm going to do this one at a time. And then I called Paul O'Neill in, and I told him he wasn't playing. And they, you know, none of them said anything except, you know, pretty much all. And I did it one at a time, and they just dropped their head and, you know, left. They weren't happy. Some were mad, some were sad. And as soon as Paul O'Neill left the room, Zimmer said to me, he says, you know, he's been playing on one leg the whole year. He says, you know, he probably deserves to play. And I thought about it. I said, you know, you're right. So I called him back in, and I said, executive privilege. I said, I'm changing my mind.
Oh, he must have been thrilled.
No reaction.
No, really?
It was the same when I told him he wasn't playing.
No kidding.
He just had that poker face and just, he went, and walked out.
Wow.
And
now we can't shut him up in the booth.
You know, before we let you go real quick, just not to embarrass Michael, but it's a story he always told, and I never had a chance to ask you why you referred to him as Rona Barrett when you took over as Yankee man.
No, it wasn't when he took over. It was like a month in.
A month in? Yeah. I just had a bad read, Michael. I had a bad read. You know, it's like that quarterback throwing the interception.
Oh, you got that one wrong.
It was just a bad read.
You know what's funny, though, about that, Joe? When you said Rona Barrett, the players had a blank stare. Only you and I knew who Rona Barrett was. Does anybody here know who Rona Barrett is?
Yeah,
not that many people.
Well, now you ask kids if they know who Bruce Springsteen is, and they say, who? You know.
Yeah, Taylor Swift they know.
That's right.
Joe,
exactly.
Last thing I got for you, are you able to sort of process that if you're able to look back at that photo of you right there on the screen, that photo, that look of you in that uniform with that hat, it is one of the truly iconic Yankee looks of all time. You will forever be associated with greatness in this franchise. Are you ever able to fully appreciate that and kind of live in it?
I appreciate it every day when people, you know, recognize me and compliment me. I appreciate it. I'm not comfortable understanding why they do that, and I'm not just being humble at that point in time. We love you, Joe. You know, you can't win the Derby on a quarter horse, and I had some thoroughbreds in that clubhouse. And the thing about it is they never got stopped to admire what they've accomplished because they felt they wanted to do it again. And I always had this feel that we had to get better just to stay the same. And then these guys did.
And they got you your 3 in a row and this close to 4 in a row.
Oh, boy, yeah. 4 in a row would have been nice.
Yeah. Joe, we can't, I mean, I know you came all the way in the city for this. We can't thank you enough. Really, it means a lot.
Well, it means a lot for you to invite me, Michael, and be a part of this. Thank you
so much. That's a great Joe Torre, the Hall of Famer. When we come back, one of the youngest Yankees, Oswaldo Cabrera, will join us right here at the Palladium. You're watching on Yes and listening on 98.7 ESPN.
Hey, big man. Hey. Dave told me you got some kind of great system for betting that really works.
It's true.
What is it? Is it like home dogs? No. It's bird mascots.
No, I just use FanDuel's responsible gaming tools like time and spending limits to manage my play.
That's the system.
Hasn't failed me yet.
Cool. You know what, man? I'm just gonna keep this between you and me.
It's not a secret, Bob.
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours. It's more fun that way.
Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now. Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now? Right now. 50% off, honey, right now! Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
I want you all to listen up and get a load of this.
New York sportscaster Russ Salzberg brings his passion and his podcast to the Yes app.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Watch Get a Load of This, brought to you by Untuck It.
Some say this game is just putting a ball in a basket over and over and over. Nonsense. This game is hard. On and off the court. Give me the early morning practices, the pressure, the pain, and the noise. You want easy? Go take a walk. I'll take the unpredictable hard way every single time.
Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC. I am so excited to get into this. Let's get well, New York.
Feel good. Feel set up for success.
Well Life NYC, now on the Yes app.
Yeah, hey, yeah. You gonna step into this ring with some heavyweights.
Kevin Durant putting on a show. Ja Morant, what a highlight.
We ain't backing down. That's a promise. That's a promise.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's. The truth is, Parkinson's disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them. Worldwide, over 10 million people are living with Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement. And with so many places to search for information, it can be difficult to know where to begin. The Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Answers for everyone in the fight. We can help you understand the disease, help you find expert care, give you tips for living a better life, share the latest research, help you find local support, and there's a free helpline you can call. Find your answers and join us in the fight against Parkinson's. To learn more, please go to parkinson.org or call 1-800-4PD-INFO. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Tired of food storage containers that clutter up your fridge and cabinets?
Fed up with cling wrap and foil that doesn't keep your food fresh?
Well, now you can go ahead and forget about it. George and Mary Beth here with another incredible invention.
Skinny Stacks, the all-new tray storage system that keeps your food fresher longer. So you simply put your food in the tray and snap, it's closed.
Then set the freshness tracker. Now, stale, dried up food is a thing of the past.
And freezer burn?
Forget about it.
Look, ordinary containers, foil, or cling wrap allows air to get inside and spoil your food. But the unique silicone cover on the Skinny Stacks stretches to fit over your food, pushing air out and locking in freshness with an airtight seal. You can really see the difference. This super stretchy silicone lid stretches to fit virtually any kind of food, like these avocados.
And this thick-cut watermelon. And how about this huge grapefruit?
How about this entire chicken? And the stackable design lets you neatly store just about anything. Take your fridge from this to this.
Use Skinny Stacks to take your snacks and foods to parties.
Just remove the lid and serve from the tray. It's perfect for taking meat from the fridge straight to the grill the easy way.
And the see-through lid makes it easy to see what's inside.
Plus, the tray is microwave safe. And cleanup's a breeze because they're dishwasher safe.
Skinny Stack's stackable design will save you space in your fridge and cabinets.
Keep your food fresh the easy way with Skinny Stacks.
Call or go online now and get your Skinny Stack storage trays for just $19.99. But order right now and we'll double the offer. As a bonus, use the promo code on your screen and we'll give you 50% off a second set of Skinny Stacks. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 sets of Skinny Stacks, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-903-8914 or go online at skinnystacks.com now.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce, looking up. See ya! 3,000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3,000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes, I feel good, I feel set up for success, to relaxation, to finding the proper balance. So fresh. Let's get well, New York. I am so excited to get into this. Do it. Woo! Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
You're watching Yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Michael Kay Show 20th anniversary show on 98.7 ESPN is brought to you by the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Where do you play, Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Very infrequently does a young man come up in the middle of a Yankee season, because the Yankees are always usually about veterans, and capture the imagination of an entire fan base. This guy right here did. Ladies and gentlemen, Oswaldo Cabrera. How are you, my friend?
Everything good.
Good.
Everything good. Better now.
Was it like a dream come true?
Like a kid living the dream.
Yeah?
You know? It's like a kid living the dream.
Anything take you by surprise when they called you?
Yeah. Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah. I can't imagine that gonna be like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Have you sensed how the Yankee fans have really embraced you, that they really do like you?
Yeah. And that got me as a surprise too, because from the first time that I come to the field and I see everybody like in the stands calling my name, and there's things that feel in my heart like so good, and that make me feel like confidence to play, comfortable to play the baseball like I play.
Was there one wow moment that stands out above the rest when you look back at it?
The best moment, that was the first roll call.
Uh-huh.
That was the best.
Oh, that's the one where you went like that.
I was so nervous.
Now you didn't do that the whole time afterward. You just waved after that, right? The first time was a grenade.
That was the best one.
Now, when you look at the Yankees moving forward, they're saying, Oswaldo could play all the positions. He could be a super utility guy. But do you want that, or would you rather play one position?
I like to play at all positions.
Really?
That was me in the minors. I didn't play too many times in the outfield in the minors too, but the 2-3 times that I play in the outfield, I just love it. So I like to play all around.
That's what I couldn't believe. I think that you had maybe 4 games in the outfield in the minors, and then you played in the major leagues like you've been playing there forever. How did that happen? Did you just feel comfortable out there?
I feel comfortable because I was talking with a lot of players, a lot of good players in the minors that they play in the majors as a outfield. Mm-hmm. I got my brothers playing all his life as an outfield, and he's like a mentor for me too. So when I come in there with this guy telling me all these things and the work that I was being in the minors practice during the season, when I come to play there, I just feel like, okay, I've been doing this for a long time.
What was your favorite position as a kid?
Catcher.
Really?
Catcher
too.
Catcher. Really?
Yeah. That was my favorite position. But my brother, I was playing with my brothers like 1 year, played with my brother. The other year, he's in the other league. So he throws so hard. and I cannot catch him. So
you said that's enough.
Yeah, I say no more.
So if they needed an emergency catcher, you couldn't do it?
I can do it.
You could do it?
Do it.
If they need me, I'm ready.
That's why they love
That's it, Michael. If he could do that and then come in a blowout game and pitch,
right?
Then he could check every box.
That's right. You could play every single position.
You're ready for
Whatever they need.
Could you pitch?
Whatever they need me, I.
What was it like? I mean, you were there. You had a front row seat for Judge's 60th, 61st, 62nd. What was that like to experience that?
I feel proud about him and about me to be with him in that moment, you know, and most because he deserved all the things that happen for him right now, because he's better person than a baseball player.
Wow.
And he's a really good baseball player, so you know how good person he is.
Yeah, I keep hearing like all the young players that came in, like you were one of them, that he treated you like you'd been there for 10 years, right?
Yeah, that was a good important, not just Judge. I think all the team, since the first time that I come to the big leagues, that guy got me like, this is your family, you know, this is your home. That created me like a good confidence to play.
All right, so you've seen Peraza play in the minors, and he came up toward the end. I don't know if you've seen much of Volpe, right?
No.
Okay,
Volpe.
so do you think Peraza could play in the big leagues next year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He got the tools, and I know he's a really nice nice player, because I've been playing with him 2 years in a row, and he's a supernatural player.
All right, so you're up at the plate. Was there any pitcher that you faced where you stepped out and go, I'm facing this guy? I mean, was there anybody that just, wow?
From the first time, there was Kluber, my first time.
Two-time Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah. And a lot of players like Manoah, Alec, Scherzer. I said, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're young and new, but you know, Yankees, Red Sox, that's the rivalry. But with everything going on with Houston in that clubhouse, has that team now been the most hated team for anybody putting on Yankee pinstripes?
We are ready to play for all the teams, you know. We are not think about just one team, like we have to beat this team. Now we have to beat all the teams that come to play against us, and that's the mentality that we have inside of the clubhouse. No matter what against we are playing for, it's just like, okay, we have to win this game. We have to win this game all the time.
Can you still feel right now, like clearly the Red Sox rivalry is not at the fevered pitch that it's been at before. It's a little bit more low key. But when you go to Fenway and you play the Red Sox, does it feel special?
It feels special.
Yeah, it feels something.
That was the first time that I was outside of the New York. I mean in the Yankee Stadium, and you can see the fans of the other team like telling, like you can feel like the people, they are Boston fans.
They say anything nasty to you?
No, all the time, but
nothing bad.
Nothing you can't handle.
Normal.
Yeah.
The best thing about Oswaldo, and I'm sure if there are Yankee fans out there, you realize every time he's on the field, and Peter, it's true, he's got this huge smile on his face. Like you really do appreciate being a big league player.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because that was like I say when I come here, like a kid living his dream. So all the time that I come to the field, I feel like living my dream.
Did you have a timeline for when you wanted to make it to the majors, where you thought, I'll spend this much time in the minors, then I should be in the big leagues?
I just work hard all the time in my mind. That was like my mentality. That wasn't, I have to be right now in the big leagues. That was like, what can I do to be better in the position that I am right now? What can I do? What? I don't know. That I have to work hard in the league that I'm playing right now. Right. And they make the decision to send me down, send me up. I just have to play do the things that I cannot do, you know?
This guy's going to be around a long time. He joins us on our 20th anniversary. Oswaldo Cabrera, everybody of the New York Yankees. Now, when we come back, live and in person, a Daily Don right here at the Palladium. Coming on, yes, and 98.7 ESPN.
The history of baseball has been written largely in New York. This city of iconic images is home to a team whose symbol has come to mean much more than just the place in which it plays. Welcome to a new season. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball. Welcome to the Yes Network.
Riders, let your queries be known.
How come we don't call ourselves bikers anymore? I mean, riders is cool, but bikers, really cool.
Seriously?
Deny. Can we go back to meeting at the rec center? The commute here is brutal. Deny.
How do you feel about getting a quote to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Should Flo stop asking the same question every time?
Approved.
Denied!
Whoa.
100% of families battling cancer need hope. That's why my family and I established the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation. Our mission is to provide both financial and emotional support to families facing a pediatric cancer diagnosis. We provide direct grants to families to pay everyday household expenses, as well as one-of-a-kind experiences so children can look back on their treatment and have something to smile about. Please join us in our fight to help us knock cancer out of the park.
Get trending with off-field fashion as designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Off-field fashion, exclusively on the S app.
News, rumors, innuendo, all rolled into a big tasty burrito.
There are certainly a lot of question marks.
Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Now I'm a free agent. We'll see what happens.
There's no off-season like the baseball off-season.
Watch an all-new episode of Yankees Hot Stove, Monday at 7 on Yes and the Yes app.
The symptoms started around 2011, going through different doctors, a lot of misdiagnosis.
I struggle with tremors, double vision, brain fog, and chronic pain.
I picture myself being in this place and everything being out of reach. The MS is getting worse, and I'm still just stuck in this little body.
Primary progressive MS. It's comparable to a house where things aren't working as they should. It's not something you could sleep off. You wake up, it's still there.
When you hear about a cure, it brings that hope back.
It would mean to my kids that they get their mom back.
And people would be saying, hey, remember MS? You don't know what that is.
If no one would have to ever experience this, it would just change the world.
Ten years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. But we didn't stop with shirts. We also created so much more, from polos to sweaters to pants. We even have a line just for her, so everyone can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Shop our Thanksgiving weekend sale at untuckit.com today.
Welcome to DraftKings Casino, the home of blackjack. Get in on the thrill of the hit, the split, the double down. Enjoy the largest library of blackjack games in the industry at your fingertips. Spanish 21, live dealer, vacation blackjack, retro blackjack, and much more. Download the DraftKings Casino app, use the promo code, and get $50 in free casino credits when you deposit $25. Action so good, why play blackjack anywhere else?
If you were diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call the law firm of Weitz and Luxembourg, who, for the last 30 years, has achieved record-breaking New York City mesothelioma and lung cancer verdicts for thousands of your neighbors and coworkers. It does make a difference which law firm you hire, so choose wisely and call Weitz and Luxembourg today. Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the Yes app now. It's more than just a game.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce. Looking up. See ya. 3-3. 3000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
We're doing the lists, Michael. I don't care if you don't like it.
The Daily Don.
I'll fight to the death for this list.
It's the Daily Don Show. He makes lists.
Take it away, Donnie.
And today's Daily Don, driven by Nissan.
Yeah.
A live one at the Palladium on the 20th anniversary. So it's got to have something tied into the 20 years.
Has to be.
Now, when you do a sports talk show, you got to talk about certain sports figures, right?
Yeah, sure.
Polarizing guys, people that light the phones up.
Yeah.
Just throw their name out. It's going to get a reaction. It's going to get conversation. Top 5 sports figures talked about in the 20 years of the Michael Kay Show.
That ignited people.
That ignited people. It stirs conversation, debate.
And not New York athletes.
No, New York.
Only New York athletes?
They are all New York athletes.
Okay. He didn't specify.
Should I start?
Sure.
Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony. Thought about it, Michael. And it's number 3.
Yeah.
Great poll. What a great poll.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys call and complain about Melo? Melo doesn't want to play with Jeremy Lin. Melo doesn't distribute the basketball. You can't win with Melo. 7 years he was here, right? Everybody that called the show complained. They all cheered him at the Garden for some reason, but everybody that called, Michael, how many conversations do we have about Melo?
Amazing. Countless. You could talk 4 hours about him.
I don't know if this one will get there.
Really?
But
Let's see.
I can only speak about my time here. And in fact, he's been coming up a lot over the last week. I'm going to throw out Mr. Odell Beckham Jr.
That's a good poll.
You thought about it.
I did think about it.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it. Who are you taking out? We
I
don't
don't know.
yet.
I don't know.
You're not taking Melo out, I can tell
No,
you that.
but Melo is going to be my first guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's quite all
It
right.
was a good poll, but Michael's was better.
Let's see. Anybody have any? What do they say?
I know. I heard.
It sounds like
How about Brian Cashman?
Recently, for sure.
Right.
I didn't include Brian.
Okay.
How about friend of the show, Mr. Alex Rodriguez?
Alex Rodriguez, tremendous poll. It's number 1.
Wow.
Boy, do we get it. From the fact that he's not clutch, to the PEDs, to the resurrection, to the fact he's a guest. I can't think of anybody bigger and more talked about in the 20 years than Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod is number 1. So we got Melo at 3, A-Rod at 1.
How about the Wilpons?
No.
No. Just didn't even think about it, Peter.
No, I did think about
Thought about it.
I thought about ownership, but who you taking?
How about Senior Eli Manning?
Oh, Eli, man. I heard somebody say, who said Eli out there? Raise your hand.
There.
Eli's a great poll, and it's number 2. I mean, think about it. The Giants trade up for him. He has a miserable rookie season, had a 0 quarterback rating against the Ravens. Did they make a mistake? Then they go to the playoffs, but they can't win in the playoffs. Then they win a Super Bowl. And then the Eli's elite wins another Super Bowl. But then still we talk about whether he's actually still that great a quarterback. And then everything that happened with Geno Smith. We talked about Eli nonstop, basically from the day he was drafted till the day he left. Eli Manning is number 2.
All right. I mean, this is very recent, but I mean, Kyrie Irving.
You know what? Another good poll by Michael. It is recent, but my God, have we talked a lot about Kyrie over the last year. 19, not so much, but so much in the line. No, you can boo. Doesn't mean you have to like him. But who are you taking out? Number 5.
That's number 5.
So how many do you have? One more?
We've got one more. Talk.
Benny.
No.
He gave us a lot to talk about.
A lot.
Always had so much going on. We couldn't help but talk about him. I don't want to give away too many hints, but
there's so much going on.
So much going on.
Give us a sport.
Football.
No.
Rex.
Rex Ryan. Great pull. From his foot fetishes, giving the finger to fans in Miami, predicting a Super Bowl before they even had players on the team. Rex Ryan, we talked about him every second that he was here. He gave us so much amazing fodder. I've got Rex at 4. So A-Rod 1, Eli 2, Carmelo 3, Rex 4, and Kyrie Irving 5.
Close out your read.
That's a good call. That's the Daily Don, driven by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you. And Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store at nissanusa.com.
Now, I've got to tell you a little something about Oswaldo Cabrera. May I?
Sure.
Please. All right, so, Don, you know this. My favorite player growing up
was Bobby Mercer.
Oswaldo Cabrera said, since this is a celebration, I want to give you this. He has a signed baseball card from Bobby Mercer.
Wow.
Wow. Class.
Let me see.
Don't drop it.
I will not.
And then he gave me one of his lucky necklaces that he makes.
Very nice.
Very nice, right?
That's all. He's got Bill of the baseballs in there.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Oh.
Did he bring me like a Cal Ripken rookie or?
I was going to say ours are probably going to come in the mail, right?
Right.
Well, he didn't know who your favorite player was.
Your LT
Ed
is
Cranepool, right?
I like Ed.
Yeah. Who was your favorite Met growing up?
Nolan Ryan.
No, you're lying. Dave
no,
Kingman.
Dave Kingman. Nolan Ryan was a better player. Dave Kingman was my favorite. I don't think he ever signed anything.
Probably
He
Chet.
put a rat in a box and sent it to a reporter.
You know, don't the drops hit different coming out of these speakers like that? Yeah.
They're very good.
I don't know if I like it. Let's do a very quick Big Blue report on 98.7 ESPN, driven by Ramsey Mazda. Biggest concern Sunday, Giants and the Lions.
Even though the defense is playing well, they score points, right? They score a ton of points. And there were times that the Texans had some really long drives, ran the ball very well. The Giants have been exceptional at home historically, though not so much. I don't know if the are the Giants at a level to have a trap game?
Yeah, I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either.
I mean, if they have it, shame on them.
Shame on them. They shouldn't really be reading their press clippings at all. But, you know, this is a game that if they go in thinking, well, all we have to do is show up, we're going to beat the Lions, then I think you're going to lose. I don't think they're that type of team. I don't think Dable will allow them to be that way.
In fact, if they read their press clippings, the press clippings say, you guys aren't that talented. You need to work really hard to win every game.
Imagine if Dable was like, listen, if you read the press clippings, you're going to see it's all about me anyway. So you guys have to do a better job.
Right.
But listen, the Lions, the one thing they do well is they score a lot of points. The Giants do not score a ton. So if it becomes a track meet, then that could be a bit of a problem. So hopefully they'll be able to slow this Lions offense down with God.
Well, we'll make our picks in the 5 o'clock hour. Peter's really, behind the 8 ball.
No, he took a shot.
Took a shot.
Peter.
This is moving day. Yeah, moving weekend.
Listen, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you lose in a 3-pointer on a Thursday.
You just go grab 3 points over the course of the weekend and know that you guys are going to miss something. You'll feel pretty good.
Well, I made the right decision because I love the Packers as well, but I laid out, and that was the smart move.
That was
the smart play.
They were so bad.
And you, Michael, you know what? No guts. You can be sitting there on 3 right now.
By the way, you don't get to celebrate. You're a gutless puke.
What? Wait a second.
Because you had conviction. And seemingly, and then Aaron Boone sides with you, and you're going, oh, now I'm.
Oh,
and we said, can I upgrade? And we said, sure, take 3. No, you didn't.
Do you know?
You shouldn't even celebrate.
Jarv from Oz, our friend who wishes to be here, but he's in Australia.
Of course.
He texted me yesterday. I'd rather be gutless and right than brave and wrong. You were brave and wrong.
I'm also in first place, so.
Yeah, that's
by a substantial margin if you're paying attention.
Well, that's the Big Blue Report driven by Ramsey Mazda. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. I want to do a quick show of hands, or you could cheer if you like. So, I mean, there's a lot of people in this room, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the way that ratings are done in our business is people give meters. They have meters.
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody in this room have a meter? Yeah, I thought not. Yeah, I thought. You love Peter?
Thank you.
Wow.
Let's go, Peter.
Speaking of which, guys, I don't know if you know this. One of the absolute best in the business today, Seth freaking Rollins, is going to be here today.
And why? And why?
Why is that?
Why is he here?
You tell me.
Who's the person that gets the assist?
You.
Well, of course. I mean, I wasn't going to pat myself.
And one of the best, probably the best defensive rookie in all of football is going to join us in a couple of minutes. Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
Hey, this season marks the 50th anniversary of New York Islanders hockey. To help celebrate, we're giving away tickets to the November 26th matchup against the Flyers at UBS Arena. To enter, download the free ESPN New York app, scroll down to contest, submit your entry, and it's brought to you by the New York Islanders. Join in on the fun this season by grabbing your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com. For full contest rules, go to ESPNNewYork.com. When we come back, Mama has the sauce. We have the sauce. Sauce Gardner.
That's right.
Joins us in just a moment right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Here or there. Live or on the go. Day or night. Spin the reels or just chill. Hard Rock Atlantic City is everywhere. Take me to Hard Rock Online Casino and Sportsbook. Get 50 free spins and up to $1,000 bonus match. Download now.
Need arch support, but orthotics make your shoes too tight? Now there's Copperfit Arch Relief Plus, the revolutionary adjustable orthotic arch supports that form fit to your feet, not your shoes, so you can comfortably wear them in any shoes.
Every shoe that I have, it makes a difference in. Whether I'm barefoot, wearing flip-flops, basketball shoes, running shoes, they go in and they last.
I wear them around the house. I wear them in my sandals, in my bare feet. It's been amazing. It's like a night and day difference wearing these and not wearing them.
A copper-infused adjustable compression band with a built-in semi-rigid orthotic arch support that form-fits to your arches for support and pain relief exactly where you need it, whenever you want it.
I love these. My arches are constantly taking a pounding, and insoles, they don't work. But with Arch Relief, I feel a huge difference. It fits perfectly right where there's pressure on my feet.
So thin, so comfortable that it fits in any shoe. For plantar fasciitis, fallen arches, flat feet, Arch Relief stays with you whenever you need it. And where shoe orthotics stop, Arch Relief keeps working to support and relieve foot pain, even barefoot.
It's arch support without the shoe. You don't need the shoe.
Dress shoes, tennis shoes, loafers, sandals, doesn't matter what you're wearing. This fits your foot fits your shoes. That's it.
The revolutionary Copperfit Arch Relief Plus, the fast, easy way to get foot relief, guaranteed or your money back. Order now at archreliefplus.com in your choice of black or nude color for only $19.99. Or call 1-800-261-5640. Order right now and your shipping is free.
This literally changes everything.
If you're always on your feet, this is what you need.
Arch support that's always with your arches. Brilliant.
Arch support where you need it. On your feet. The original Arch Relief Plus. Only from Copperfit.
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the Yes app now. It's more than just a game.
Hundreds of thousands of people in New Jersey face hunger.
Now, more than ever.
Together with our 800-plus agency partners.
Now, more than ever.
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is fighting hunger.
Now, more than ever.
This holiday season, in a time when the need is so great, you can help our hungry neighbors by going to cfbnj.org.
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the YES app now. It's more than just a game.
Get your weekly roundup of everything Pinstripes on Yankees Magazine.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
New episodes every Wednesday on YES and the YES app.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. 20th anniversary. You know what I like? You know, we're going to have an off-the-air Trost.
Yes.
At 7 o'clock. It's going to be great, but I see a lot of people are getting lubed up already.
Excuse me?
A lot of people are drinking.
Oh, that's what you
Yeah.
mean. Okay.
Look like something that's going to really send you 3 sheets to the wind in a hurry, so the crowd's going to be fine.
Pace yourself. We got 4 hours left, guys.
Also, everybody on our staff, they're drinking. Where's our drinks?
Well, you can't drink on the air.
I don't think that's a rule.
It is a rule.
I don't know if it's a law, but it's a rule.
No, just as long as you drink to the sponsor.
That's right. That's the ultimate rule.
I want to Tullamore Dew right now.
There you go.
Well, there, you let it into. It's game time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And there's just one game today locally. The Knicks against the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you want to hear it, you can hear it right here at 9:30 pregame. 10 o'clock is the tip as the Knicks try to go 3-0 on this 5-game trip. So that's the only game. The Nets are off. By the way, Kyrie's back on Sunday.
Kyrie's back on Sunday, and that was a big win over my Trailblazers last night.
Huge win. Now, you're going to tell everybody why the Trailblazers are your team?
No.
No. And you called a great game, Rangers Kraken.
Yeah, it didn't go
How
well
did you
for the
make it
Rangers.
back from Seattle?
I know. Listen, I'm exhausted.
You must
and I got to go back out to San Jose right after this.
Oh, my.
That's how much I love you guys. No, the Rangers tied it late on a Trocheck goal on the power play, and then they lost in overtime. Just the Kraken's second ever win in overtime in franchise history. But they got to play better 5-on-5. Not good.
Not good.
Got to play better.
Oh, by the way, you lost an ice pick yesterday.
I did lose an ice pick, although Toronto did score late to force overtime. But the Devils have now won 11 straight. That guy's excited over there, 11 in a row.
Yeah, old Don would have been excited.
Old Don would be
know,
very, very excited.
it's since I wore the Devils jersey.
They really, they have not lost.
They have not lost since I wore that jersey.
Is that true?
Yeah.
But the Rangers have lost since he wore the Kreider pullover.
You know what? I'm going to wear the what's the guy the jersey I have with the name I used to like that he's gone now?
Oh, Shattenkirk.
Shattenkirk. I'm going to put a Shattenkirk on this week.
You know what?
Put it on Wednesday because the Rangers will be playing the Ducks.
Done.
Wednesday. So,
Done.
yeah.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving.
That's game time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. During the big games this season, enjoy a Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Remember, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly. I don't know if anybody heard, but after we got off the air last night, I'd say at about 7:50, Aaron Judge was named MVP.
That's right. I saw it.
And only two people voted against him, right?
Yeah.
So only 2 Ohtanis?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I thought there'd be more, honestly.
But, you know, to me, it was so clear-cut.
I agree.
It really was. I mean, the guy played on a team that won 99 games, won the division. The other guy played on a team that was 16 games under 500, and they finished third. Not good at all. So, listen, I think Ohtani's great. And I think Ohtani, by the way, I'll make a bold prediction for everybody here. Ohtani next year will either be a Met or a Yankee.
Wow. That's coming in hot.
Not 23, 24.
Okay. Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because they're not going to trade him. He'll be a free agent at the end of 23.
But why wouldn't they trade him
He doesn't, because
at the end of 23, like towards at the trading deadline?
I guess they could do that, but they're being sold, the Angels. So who knows? The next owner might say, I want Ohtani. I'm going to try to sign him.
Let's hash this out. If the Yankees re-sign Judge,
right,
is there money for Ohtani?
There's money. They'll get rid of me. That'll clear some space.
There you go. You don't count towards the
salary
luxury
threshold.
tax.
No, I don't.
You're not part of the salary threshold because if you were, Michael, there'd be a lot of trouble. You're making tons of cash.
Absolutely.
Now the Mets, I guess it doesn't matter to worry about those things because we'll see if they have a budget. But so where would you put the odds at, Mets or Yankees?
Well, he does like Billy Epler a lot.
Okay.
And the Yankees really made a strong push for him when he was a free agent who wanted to play on the West Coast. But I think he realizes that if he brings his star to New York, it will be out of control how big he'd be. I mean, just imagine how big Ohtani is now. and then consider how he'd be in the media capital of the world.
It would be crazy.
Yeah.
It would be crazy town.
You know, it's because we do live in this era now where it really shouldn't matter. Now, could Ichiro have been bigger had he been a Yankee earlier in his career? Because,
Sure.
listen, everybody knows Ichiro, and he played in Seattle.
Yep, I think
now,
he would have been
they did
bigger.
win, though, so they were playing in the postseason. See that to me is what kills the situation with the Angels, is that they don't go to the playoffs.
Yep.
If the Angels were good, if the Angels were consistently good, like they were under Mike Scioscia in the early 2000s, then I think Trout and Ohtani would be more recognizable. And so it's a combination of they play out in Anaheim where their games are at 10:30 every night, but more so it's that they never go to the playoffs. They never do anything. Seattle went to the playoffs with Ichiro, so everybody knew Ichiro. Now Matsui, you know, being a Yankee, he became huge. If Matsui was a Brewer, maybe Matsui wouldn't have as much cachet. But I think it really just kills that the Angels don't win. But yeah, New York, it would be amazing.
And I think Ohtani said it this year. He said, I really want to win, you know, because he's showcasing this amazing talent. He's not able to showcase it on the biggest stage, which would be the postseason. I think the same thing with Mike Trout. You know, Mike Trout playing for the Angels right now is like, I used to say this about A-Rod playing in Texas. It's like hanging the Mona Lisa in a garage. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little giddy about the idea of it. You know, I'm an Ohtani fan.
Have been for years.
You have a jersey.
You know what? It's one of the few jerseys I got that I stand by to this day. Like, I used to have some football jerseys that no human being should have owned. I mean, I didn't need to have a Jamal Anderson Falcons jersey. Fine player, but didn't need it.
What was that dance he did?
The Dirty Bird.
The Dirty Bird.
Yeah. Ohtani, though, man, he is a lot of fun. To me, he is one of the only pieces. I'm not saying he could replace Judge, because I honestly don't think anyone's as good as Judge. But I do think he's someone that over time, if it happened, people could end up living with it.
Now, Judge, I've been saying, he is not leaking stuff to the media. Neither is his agent. His agent has Aaron Judge. His name is Paige Odell, and he's had him since college. He could have gone to a bigger agency. He's staying with this guy. Shows you he's loyal. He's not leaking anything. Aaron's not leaking anything. But trying to put the pieces together, whether or not he'll come back to the Yankees. He said yesterday when he won the award on MLB Network, I want to get this done quickly because I want to give the team that signs me the ability to put a team around me. I think the best chance of getting done quickly is something. I mean, Brian Cashman said yesterday they've already made him another offer. So if he wants to get done quickly, that helps the Yankees. And I think that probably leans a little bit toward him coming back to the Yankees, although I wouldn't bet the farm on it.
But it's interesting because when you say that it'll give the team time to build around me, doesn't that suggest going someplace else?
Well, the Yankees need some additions.
I know, but when you say build around me,
well, I mean, I was paraphrasing.
Okay.
Just he said get the right pieces there.
Okay, because that could include the Yankees too. Because again, the Giants seem to be the rumored team. Just came off a 500 season. A lot of players getting older for them. They really need to. But just Judge dropping into San Francisco, even though they won 107 games 2 years ago. It's a lot different, the team now. They've lost a lot in free agency. Gosman's gone. Their staff isn't the same as it was. Belt's getting older. Crawford's getting older. That just dropping Judge into San Francisco does not mean they'll be able to compete with the Padres and the Dodgers.
Right.
They're going to have to do some other things to make that happen. So when you said it the way you said it, my mind kind of wandered to maybe going to a team that's got to do a lot more than the Yankees would have to.
The Giants also supposedly in play for one of the shortstops, and then they would ask that player if they signed him to maybe play second base because Brandon Crawford has one more year left on his contract. So a lot of things going on. Yankees did make a signing today. They did sign Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to a 1-year, $6 million contract. Wow.
Well, right there, Michael.
It's not what you want.
Right there.
I mean, really.
If Kiner-Falefa happened to turn on the radio just then, I feel bad for him and I apologize.
You hope he didn't get the news and go, I want to celebrate. I wonder what they're saying on talk radio.
I just got a contract extension. Oh, no, they're booing me.
Well, I mean, he has 1 year left. So this is his year, and he signed rather than going to arbitration. So he got a $6 million deal.
I get it, but the fans don't like it.
I don't know.
They don't like him?
Why?
I don't ask him. Go out in the crowd.
Why don't you like the guy? He wasn't the reason. They won 99 games with him at shortstop.
99, baby.
Now,
because he seems like
He's a really good guy who loves being a Yankee.
But can I defend the fans that boo?
Of course
Because
you
there
can.
are guys. They paid to see us. I love these people. I love these people.
That's right. As a wise man once said.
It's a home run hitters league. He's a punch and Judy guy, and I think he's overrated defensively. And they didn't get some of the big name shortstops. They didn't get Story. They didn't get Correa. So it did seem like, I don't mean to speak for you guys, but it does feel like you were sold a bill of goods that he was better than he actually was, and he didn't live up to those expectations. Good player, nice player, but I don't think he lived up to the billing that Brian told us when they got him.
That young man there with the hat, you have a hat on?
There's a lot of people with
Come
hats.
on up. He's got a shirt on that Peter, you die for.
And look at the forehead.
Just come up on stage.
Oh, right on stage.
Wow, look at you. Let's see.
Look at this.
Yeah.
A Don LaGreca t-shirt.
And I signed the forehead.
That is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's a great job.
And his all right, brother, you get up here too. You don't want your brother on TV. Come on.
Are you guys twins?
Yeah, we need him.
Are you twins? No? On TV. What was that?
It's meat.
It's meat. Oh, I thought you were bringing your girlfriend, you said.
She's right there.
Oh, let's see.
Hi, girlfriend. And she's got a sauce jersey.
Girlfriend of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What's it
somebody's
like
got
dating
sauce.
meat? Oh, thumbs up on meat.
So,
yeah.
So, well, why don't she come up too?
Yeah, girlfriend.
Because let's bring up somebody that actually does have some sauce.
Yeah, we're still waiting on sauce, so.
Now, there's a big night ahead for her.
Why?
Because I'm predicting that tonight's the night that there's going to be a baby in the future, and it's going to happen.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I had said that.
Yeah.
Because with all the drinking and all the fun, you guys are staying in a hotel,
They
right?
got a hotel in the city.
So we booked the hotel. They didn't give us 2 queens. It's 1 king.
Oh, no. Well, hold on, Don. I don't think it's happening tonight. It's not happening tonight.
I'm telling you why it's happening tonight. Because he's going to go to bed with this shirt on. What an aphrodisiac that is.
Hey, listen, I can tell you some stories on how Michael helped through some people down the road. So who's the brother that's not with her? Yeah, you got to sleep. Go find something, man. Give this guy his time. I don't want to be wrong.
No, he shouldn't be wrong.
We all live together.
You all live together?
Really? Well, there's probably stuff going on anyway.
Is this wait, what?
Just fight through it.
What do the kids call it? Is this a throuple?
No, but with brother, I don't know. I'm not doing anything with my brother. I'll tell you that. So listen, I just have Don be the middle name. It's going to happen tonight. Good luck. Have fun.
Do you have tips? Do you have any tips for us?
About what?
No, I think you should know how to do this.
Listen. Yeah, you believe me.
Have a great time, guys.
If you need tips, then you know what? She needs to go find somebody else.
Oh.
Well, listen. With meat, it's not just a sexy name. You know what I mean?
No, meat.
He brings it.
Because I keep thinking Porky's. That was his nickname, Meat.
Right. Now, because we're waiting on sauce.
Yeah. But this is where you like this, right? This is fun.
All right, so on a level of 1 to 10, 10 being an inability to walk, how drunk are we right now? 5?
Oh, that's light. It's early, man.
We got kids in the audience. They got
Got a young lady there in the second deck. She was doing the Kirk Cousins. Did you see that? Yeah.
Do it again. I want to see.
Yeah, that right there. There's.
Oh, yeah, all
There
right.
you go.
A whole family of Gardner children are here?
No, that's Pete Doherty's kids.
Wow, Pete's kids brought it.
Yeah, Pete's kids brought it.
Very impressive. Look at that. Now, do you guys have your picks ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Well, you go first because.
Well, don't we need our theme song?
Well, you want to do the picks right now?
I think we should.
Oh, no. Wow.
All right, so Peter behind the 8 ball because he foolishly took the Packers because of his buddy.
I do it again.
Yeah, you do it again?
I do it again.
3 points in the hole. Now you've got a 2-point pick and a 1-point pick to make. So go.
Pick them. I will pick them. Here's who I'm going to pick. It's a team that many of you are familiar with. It is the New York Football Jets that I will be picking. Don, I love the hook. I love love the hook. In fact, I love the Jets to win outright. It'll be my 1-point play. Of course, I only have my 2-point and my 1 point left because I lost last night. My 2-point play, I already telegraphed it for you guys. I'm sorry. I don't believe they're going to get trapped. I believe they're still going to be motivated. I am going to rock with my Washington Commanders to lay the 3 in Houston and keep this thing going. Don't you guys fantasize about a world in a few weeks where the Commanders win a couple more and the Giants lose a couple and they're like a game apart when they play? So that's it. I have my 1 point on the Jets and my 2 point on the Commanders.
So do I go next or do you go next?
You were both so bad last week. It's hard to say.
No, you go because I only had 2 points.
All right. My 1 point play, because they're a turnover machine, and I still think there's something going on with the Rams that still could bubble up and be good. I think they go to New Orleans. They're getting 3. So I love the Rams to win the game outright, cover the number in New Orleans. 2-3 win teams.
You know Cooper Kupp's not playing?
I don't care.
Awful
The
pick.
Saints hand the ball. Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's my 1 point play.
All right.
Get over it. My 2 point play, I'm riding with Peter. The Jets are the better team. They're going to win in Foxborough with the regular season for the first time since 2008. They're going to win the game outright. Don't give me the whole Bill Belichick against young quarterbacks. That was on the kid. He'll bounce back. He'll be better. And they'll find a way to be able to run the ball. They'll get it done. This defense is not going to be beaten by Mac Jones. I love the Jets as my 2 point play. I also love a big bounce back. They've been brutal in the last 2 games. The Bills cover the 8 in Detroit against the Browns. They're not losing 3 in a row.
I like
Bills
this
are
pick.
not losing 3 in a row.
I like this
and
pick.
I think they will cover the 8 as my 3 point play. So I like the Rams getting 3 as my 1. I like the Jets covering, winning the game outright as my 2 point play. And I love the Bills to cover the 8 in Detroit as my 3 point play.
All right, I've got Mr. Bruni's picks first.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Bruni likes the Eagles -7.
Thought about that.
He likes the Lions +3.
Thought about that.
And he likes the Ravens -13. And I like that too. It was a little much. It was a lot of points.
That was a lot of points.
All right, so I had my 1 point pick yesterday, so now I've got to give you a 2 point and a 3 pointer. I'm going to take a gamble here. My 2 point play is going to be the Bears against the Falcons. Falcons are 3 point underdog, 3 point favorites, and the Bears can score. The Bears can score, and the only thing the Bears can't do is play defense. Falcons don't score anyway, so I'm not worried about them with defense. The Bears are my 2 point pick. You're shaking your head. You don't like it
because it's just another repugnant game that you pick.
It's so weird the choices you make.
Now I'll pick a bounce back here. Everybody believes in Jeff Saturday. He's a great guy. I love him too, but they beat the Raiders last week. They beat the Raiders.
And it wasn't easy.
No, and the Eagles, they lost to the Commies, but it's a short week. That concerns me a little bit. It's a 7 point spread. Give me the Eagles for my 3 point play.
Wow, 3-pointer.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
By the way, I thought about it.
You thought about it.
I liked it.
I thought about the Colts, honestly.
That's Bear the dog. Bear's pick. Listen, Bear has been really, really excited by what the Vikings are doing.
Right.
And loves them to keep rolling with Kirk Cousins back at home. So he's taking the Vikings, who are getting a 1.5 at home, versus the Cowboys.
Doesn't that scare a Bear?
Why?
I mean, the Vikings are 8-1, and they're underdogs at home.
Like, what does Vegas know?
What does Vegas know? And the Cowboys just lost to Green Bay, and Green Bay just laid an egg for you last night.
I just said what you said to Bear. And he said, I don't care about the prognosticators. You know how I get down. I'm going with the
It
Vikings.
doesn't matter. He's got nothing on the line anyway. He's not going to get dunked. Right?
Bear
What
won't
does he
go
care?
No, you're right. He's
Mr.
not.
Bruni, same thing. He's not getting dunked.
Another game I loved. Couldn't squeeze it in because I had a win yesterday.
many winners, yeah.
I love the Broncos over the Raiders.
It's not bad. The
Not a bad
the Raiders may be in full-on, they just get blown out every week, tailspin.
The only thing that scares me is the Broncos don't score enough points.
That-
2.5, that's a small line, but if they win, they might win by 2.
AOC.
Don, you know the hook.
I know the hook.
Love the hook.
The hook doesn't help
I didn't want to
anybody.
touch that game. Everybody got a vote of confidence in Vegas. Does that spur them on? And I'm not betting anything on the Broncos anime. I'm done with them.
You're done.
Why? Well, and plus, I don't want to have to even glance at that game. I don't want to glance at it.
All right, so Anthony Greek, who I think our producer on the SI might have a little bit of a gambling problem. He gives me numbers that are amazing. Jared Goff, 110-1, straight up on the road his last 12 starts. And the Giants home under 16-1 last 17 games.
We might find out who Michael's source is.
Ooh.
Might be Greek.
It's not Greek. First of all, I'm not in first place.
That you're doing that early to make it look real late in the season.
Oh, I'm very clever.
Oh, you're very
That's
clever.
how I lasted 20 years on New York radio.
That's exactly right.
Very
it wasn't
clever.
your good looks.
Or my voice.
Or your talent.
Nothing. I have none of it. The Michael K. Show 20th anniversary show on 98.7 ESPN is brought to you by the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, please call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. I think we have a big guest coming up, so you'll find out when he comes out. But I gotta ask because it matters to us. You guys having a good time?
And now, honest question though. Are you more excited for right now or for 7 to 9? Yeah, it's the 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're here early.
We're
for
working
7.
blue.
Oh, you see this? Settle the squall.
All right, so we've had some big guests here, but I mean, how many people, you've not, in your whole life, Don, what are you, 59?
54.
You've never been perfect in any one day, right?
Never.
Peter, you've never been perfect.
Oh, God, no.
We had a guy who was perfect one day. He's going to join us in just a moment right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more.
Hey, big man.
Hey.
Dave told me you got some kind of great system for betting that really works.
It's true.
What is it? Is it like home dogs? No. It's bird mascots.
No, I just use FanDuel's responsible gaming tools like time and spending limits to manage my play.
That's the system.
Hasn't failed me yet.
Cool. You know what, man? I'm just going to keep this between you and me.
It's not a secret, Bob.
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours. It's more fun that way.
Greatness can't be bought. Greatness must be earned, self-created, and self-defined. Not something you're born with, but something you become, something you reveal, something you set free. Greatness frustrates, it motivates. Greatness intimidates and inspires. But most of all, greatness wins.
Some say this game is just putting the ball in a basket over and over and over. Nonsense. This game is hard. On and off the court. Give me the early morning practices, the pressure, the pain, and the noise. You want easy? Go take a walk. I'll take the unpredictable hard way every single time.
It's a season for the ages.
What a year. Just a magical season.
Done it again. A walk-off by Aaron Judge. To deep to left field. Number 60. Number 61. 62. He's done it. He has done it.
When I was flying, I used to love sitting on the rim. It has that wind in your face experience. And being on the recumbent kind of brought that back. RPG came through the belly of the aircraft. I'm not sure I would still be here if I didn't find the Friends and Wounded Warrior project that I did. We don't talk about the female combat wounded. These are our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. I got on the bike and I tried it out. It felt a lot like flight, and I felt like I got a piece of me back. In that moment, I was like, this is it. I'm unstoppable. You know, I can do anything. The truth is, I think we all have this strength inside of us, but until you're tested, you just don't know it's there.
With a bittersweet
loss in last year's finals, the Nets went out and signed 2 key pieces to their championship puzzle. Now the defending Eastern Conference champions are looking forward to starting their long quest back to the NBA Finals. Tonight it's the opener. The Nets take on the Hawks. Next on Yes. It's Nets basketball on Yes. Yes, it was a magical season last year, but it's time to turn the page. The season opens anew. Hawks and Nets from the Meadowlands.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days. They haven't drank anything. They're cold. They're dehydrated.
As soon as we started our descent, everywhere I could see was mud. Just absolutely mud.
The country has been in prolonged drought for so long. It was like a tinderbox waiting to go up.
Okay, very heavy. Each of us wants to be part of the solution, and we can be. Remember that there's good happening right now. At home.
All right, we were able to get into your unit, and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
okay.
And around the world. For any animal in any disaster. So let's focus on that, right? Be part of the solution, one rescue at a time. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce. Looking up. See ya. 3,000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3,000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes,
Ooh, I feel good. I feel set up for success.
to relaxation, to finding the proper balance.
So fresh.
Let's get well, New York.
I am so excited to get into this. Let's do it. Woo!
Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
Get trending with off-field fashion as designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Off-field fashion, exclusively on the S app.
Is that a remix? Sounds different.
The remix.
Tiger Watch about a completely melted down for the weekend. It still overcame it, still finished. Who cares? See, this is the garbage that I go through, right? In humans, it's unhealthy and it's sick. Tiger basically soiled himself.
I can't start talking because I want to keep hearing.
I want to hear it. It's so good.
Well, that is a remix of Don saying, what was this argument about, Don?
Just how everybody loves Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah, you hate
know, the
him.
Trey
You hate golf,
Wingos
yeah.
and the Mike Greenbergs of the world, like everything he does, they're giddy little schoolgirls. And I said they would sniff him dead.
Right.
No one understands what it means, but
But it sounded good. Anyway,
Our next guest does.
our next guest, to me, he should be considered for the Hall of Fame.
Should be.
4 World Series championships, 1 perfect game, a great team leader. I love working with him in the Yes booth. You could hear him on Sunday Night Baseball as well. As great a baseball player as he is, I'm telling you, he's a better guy. David Cone.
Yes. 20 games with the Mets, too. Don't forget that.
Why would you bring up the Mets, Don? He had all his glory with the Yankees. Why the Mets?
Because he had a tremendous amount of glory with the Mets.
But no bling.
Well, I understand
it
that.
still counts.
Still counts. I'm sure he's very proud of the 20-win season that he had. Very proud of the effort that he had in Game 6 in Los Angeles against the Dodgers in '88. Wasn't his fault they lost Game 7.
Do you get love from Mets fans still?
You know, I went to Old Timers Day at Citi Field this year.
I was
So
there.
it was actually really well done. There's a whole new sheriff in town over there. Obviously, ownership all the way down.
Yeah.
The great Jay Horowitz, now running the alumni company or the alumni association over there with all the ex-Mets. And it was great. It was great to go back. 1988, I still think about that. I still think about the blown opportunity that we had, with the Mets at 88. So, yeah, that still stings.
And by the way, I keep saying 4 championships. He also won one with the Blue Jays, so 5. He's got a whole ring, a handful of rings. No surprise with Judge winning the MVP. Were you surprised that he got 28 first-place votes?
No, I mean, when you look at the breakdown of the votes, there's 30 votes, and the 2 LA writers, or the two people responsible that covered that team, voted for Ohtani. I can understand that. I mean, if you factor in the degree of difficulty of having to pitch and hit, then you could say, he's the 8th wonder of the world. Ohtani's amazing, but as far as outright production, the guy who did the most for his team, it has to be Aaron Judge. He had a historic season offensively.
And again, the Angels finished 16 games above 500, under 500, and the Yankees won 99 games and won their division going away. I mean, to me, that's what really gets it done.
That's the nail on the head, because the rest of the offense really face-planted down the second half. If you look at the offensive numbers other than Aaron Judge in the second half, the entire second half of the season, it was a complete face-plant. It was under 230 in their batting average. Their on-base percentage was below 290. So Aaron Judge literally carried them to the end.
Now, obviously, I said this earlier, Aaron Judge and his people, they don't leak things. So what's your gut feeling where he ends up?
My gut feeling is that he loves being a Yankee, that it was really smart that they signed Anthony Rizzo to come back. They're very close. You and I know this. Rizzo's a great guy in that clubhouse. My sense is that he understands that he's got a chance to go right into Monument Park and get a C on his jersey. And that means something, And I spoke from experience in that, when I was on the Mets for 6 years, the best day of my career is when I got to come back to New York. I missed it. You will miss New York if you leave it. The grass is always greener. You can think about it. You can talk about money or offers, but playing for New York and that passion and the rush you get is like nothing else.
But you still take a chance when you test free agency, though, right?
You do take a chance, and he deserves it. This is his one shot. At 30 years old, this is his one shot to maximize his value. This goes back to Marvin Miller, the Players Association. The only time you can find your true value is in a free market and have other teams tell you what they think. But at the end of the day, I still believe he understands how important it is to be the captain of the Yankees, and that's what he's staring at.
All right, so I saw a story today, and I said, I've got to ask David when he comes on the show. So the new owner of the Royals is trying to build a new stadium, and Kauffman Stadium is gorgeous, but it's the 6th oldest stadium in baseball. Were you surprised to see that?
No, they've been talking about that for a long time in Kansas City, in the downtown area, trying to build up the area in downtown. They have a new convention center down there, a whole gas lamp district that they're, restaurants and bars. And so they're trying to get sort of that, come early, stay late kind of feel. Whereas where Royal Stadium is now, it's kind of out in the middle off of the freeway. And there's nothing out there other than the stadiums. It's Arrowhead's great for football, and the Royal Stadium's right next door, but there's nothing to bring people out early and stay late. There's no infrastructure around it.
I've never been there, but my understanding is it's a lot like the Meadowlands. I think it had the same architect, right? So isn't it like out of just it serves its own purpose? It just has the stadium as in a parking lot, right?
Yes, it really is. I mean, both of those stadiums were built for about $50 million back in the 70s. Both of them.
Wow.
You think about it, they were paid off in full. They've had renovations done since then, taken on some debt, but without a doubt, they're gorgeous stadiums. There's not enough infrastructure around that a lot of ownership seek nowadays. If you look around Fenway Park, what's going on around there, that's kind of the model where you can build a little city around and really own that real estate and build infrastructure.
And we saw that in Texas. They have that. In St. Louis, it's unbelievable. They just want to build these little cities around the team.
Exactly. You have your own little village, and fans, they come hours before the game, and they stay hours after the game. And, the ownership, that's the mecca. That's what everybody wants if you're an owner.
All right, so a couple of days ago, Buck won the Manager of the Year, and it's the 4th time he's won. You played for Buck when you got traded to the Yankees. What makes him a good manager?
Well, I think just how seriously he takes it, how passionate he is. And he leaves no stone unturned. I mean, almost obsessively so. And you and I know him very well, but if you sit down and talk to him 5 minutes in his manager's office, there's 10 things that he'll talk about manager that you never even thought about. And that's the way he thinks. He's one of those obsessive personalities that will not miss anything and is just completely in love with the game, in love with the culture that he's trying to build there, and he's got a great opportunity there to kind of build this his way. Because, when you're the manager of the year, you bought some time with the Mets, and you got great resources now with the ownership there.
How different is he now than he was when you first met him in '95?
Much different. He's much more, he's become looser, like, with age, everything. He's learned along the way. He understands kind of the art of passive aggressive, so to speak. He knows how to put it back on the players as opposed to sort of being a general or a dictator in terms of do it my way or the highway. He's learned how to kind of finesse his way through the clubhouse and put the onus right back on the players and let them know what they look like.
What was it like? Because you were a player who liked to have fun when you weren't playing. When you showed up in 1995, and that was the little general Buck Showalter, did you guys mesh?
I don't think he knew what to make of me, to tell you the truth. When I showed up in '95, there were some funny meetings. He had early meetings going and chalkboards, and it was like Vince Lombardi, doing a meeting back in the days of the Packers. And I told Buck, I said, it's just too much information can jam me up. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pitch to my strengths. I trust my catcher to know what the weaknesses is on the hitters, but I can't do meetings 3 hours before the games. And a lot of guys, I think that's what you've understood now, that little bits and pieces of information are more important than 3 hours before the game having big meetings and jamming them up with so much information.
And he respected that?
I think he did, and I think he's learned, and I think he's really evolved as a manager in that regard, especially.
I was going to say, do you believe it when we talked to Buck, we asked him, what he thought of the Timmy Trumpet thing, and he's like, oh yeah, I like it, sure, it's fun if they have fun, blah blah. Do you buy it? Do you think he really feels that way, or he's just kind of, I'm going to adapt and say the right things?
Yeah, I think he's had to adapt. Yeah, I think there's a certain part of Buck that's still very old school in that regard, and he doesn't like all the nonsense or all the external stuff that can be distracting, but he gets it. He understands that this generation of players kind of govern themselves, and that's the way it's always been. The players govern themselves, and they kind of dictate how they're going to go about it, and if they're okay with it, with bat flips or celebrations or whatnot, if this is a new generation, then that's fine. As long as everybody's okay with it, then he'll adapt, and that's kind of what he's done. But you get it's a great point. You get the feeling that deep down that he's still a little bit old school.
All right, so the word out there is that Justin Verlander wants the same amount of money per year as Max Scherzer, and he wants a 3-year contract. He's 40.
Yes.
Is that a reasonable deal?
Well, if anybody deserves to be at the top of the pay scale, it's Justin Verlander. He's coming off the Cy Young Award, so it was a little different with Scherzer. I think the Mets felt like they had to overpay a little bit to get him to take that deal to come to Queens. So every deal's a little bit different, but Verlander's well within his rights to at least ask to be at the top of the pay scale. He made. We're talking multi-millions, so it's about free markets. It's about what guys are worth. He made $25 million last year. It's an enormous amount of money, but it's nowhere near the top of the pay scale, and he deserves to be at or near the top.
And I get pitching's important, David, but you're talking about 32 starts. You're talking about managers that can't wait to get to the bullpen. So why are these pitchers worth much more than everyday players that can affect things for, 145 games as opposed to 32, and not even the entire game?
Right. I think there are very few blue chip players, both position players and pitchers, and I think Verlander's one of those guys who's a blue chip guy. That's the model that Dave Dombrowski used in Philly. I want blue chip guys. I want Harper. I want Wheeler. I want the guys that are really top notch. Realmuto, the catcher. So Verlander's in that category. Those blue chip players that are a cut above do special things in big games. That's the philosophy. So I think that's why you could say that they're worth it. Starting pitching still is very important. We saw that in postseason. The starting pitching that was great. Houston's starting pitching took them all the way through, even though they're not throwing 9 innings anymore. 6 or 7 innings on average is still very important because the bullpens get used so much nowadays that if you have a starter that can do that, you can take some of the pressure off of the other days.
I remember when you signed your big contract with Ewing Kauffman and the Royals, you look back at guys like Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax, and they probably thought, gee, I wish I was, that it. Now that you see $43.5 million, do you wish you were younger?
No, I do not. I will never do that. I was on the right side of the rope. Every generation can say that. Even back to the 80s, I remember Gary Carter was making $2 million a year in 1988 to catch for the Mets, and we thought, oh my God, $2 million a year. Well, it wasn't maybe 5 or 6 years after that where the pay scale jumped up to $6, $7, $8 million a year on the top end and just continued to go up. A lot of it was cable television. A lot of it was George Steinbrenner in the original MSG deal. A lot of it was Fox when they got the Game of the Week on Saturday from NBC, who had it for 30 years. The television money that came pouring into the game, I was on the right side. I have no complaints. Every generation can say that, but you'll never get me complaining.
Now, you weren't on the 86 Mets, but you came over in 87, so a lot of the craziness, I'm sure, spilled over to those years. How nuts were the Mets in the late 80s?
I can't tell you what it was like at the end of March in 1987 to walk into that clubhouse, the next spring after 86, and to just look around, it was like the guys were beat up. They'd really been through the ringer after the 86 Mets, and the way they partied, the way they went after it. They played hard. They partied hard. I didn't know what I'd gotten myself into in 1987 walking into that clubhouse, but what I did was fall in love with those guys. They were great guys. And, yeah, we had some issues, no doubt, and those guys had some addiction issues, but nonetheless, it's a close-knit group that's still close today.
What a trade, Michael. One of the great trades of all time. Ed Hearn.
Yeah.
Who I liked. He was a nice backup catcher. A backup catcher for David Cone?
And the Mets were asking that, too.
Well, I have a tendency to burn some bridges wherever I go, Michael.
Well, you heard the Keith Hernandez story, right? So they saw him. Can I tell this one? No. They saw him throw in spring training, and they're all talking amongst, how did we get this guy? This guy's unbelievable. How do we get? Then they take off for opening day, and David surfs down the plane on like a, what was it?
The little plastic cart.
Plastic cart. And then Keith Hernandez goes, oh, now I know.
I made it halfway. Halfway down the runway.
Anyway, I think he's far and away the best baseball analyst in the world. And he's a friend that when I picked up the phone, I said, can you come here Friday? He said, of course. He's the best. David Cone, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Wow, you hear that? Yeah, I love you.
Congratulations, guys. 20 years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll come back. More to come. We have a big ENN as well, waiting on Sauce Gardner, who's stuck in traffic, but he will get here right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
We all want to travel safe through New York and New Jersey. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious or dangerous, just call 911. You don't even have to give your name or get involved, but you will be helping to keep our region safe. Let's work together. Visit the Port Authority website to learn more.
10 years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide.
It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuck It, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Shop our Thanksgiving weekend sale at untuckit.com today.
Hi, this is Aaron Judge, and I want to introduce you to my All Rise Foundation. Our mission is to inspire children and youth to become responsible citizens by engaging them in activities that encourage them to reach unlimited possibilities. We do this through our All Rise Pro Camps, through our Aspiring Leaders programs, and through many grant programs that provide $2,500 to organizations that support our youth's education, leadership skills, health, and well-being. Now I'm proud to share All Rise with New York City with our first All-Star Evening on November 18th. I hope you will join me and my foundation as we all rise to support youth in our community. Visit AaronJudgeAllRiseFoundation.org for more information.
Get your weekly roundup of everything Pinstripes on Yankees Magazine.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
New episodes every Wednesday on Yes and the Yes app.
News, rumors, innuendo, all rolled into a big, tasty burrito.
There are certainly a lot of question marks.
Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Now I'm a free agent. We'll see what happens.
There's no off-season like the baseball off-season.
Watch an all-new episode of Yankees Hot Stove, Monday at 7 on Yes and the Yes app.
Check it out.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help.
We're about to start the meeting. Welcome to anyone new.
For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Welcome to DraftKings Casino, the home of blackjack. Get in on the thrill of the hit, the split, the double down. Enjoy the largest library of blackjack games in the industry, right at your fingertips. A variation for everyone and every situation. We're talking Spanish 21, live dealer, vacation blackjack, retro blackjack, and naturally, blackjack games featuring all of your favorite sports. If blackjack isn't for you, enjoy casino classics like slots, roulette, and more. Download the DraftKings Casino app or visit us online. Use the promo code and experience the casino floor in the palm of your hand. When it comes to promos, the choice is yours. New customers can pick between $50 in free casino credits when they deposit $25 or a 100% deposit match up to $2,000 in casino bonus funds. Action so good, why play blackjack anywhere else?
Hundreds of thousands of people in New Jersey face hunger.
Now, more than ever.
Together with our 800-plus agency partners.
Now, more than ever.
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is fighting hunger.
Now, more than ever.
This holiday season, in a time when the need is so great, you can help our hungry neighbors by going to cfbnj.org.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce. Looking up. See ya. 3,000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3,000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Zaya, you can skip making your bed. But Dwayne and I decided not to skip the doctor for our kids.
Doctors are doing a lot to keep their offices as safe as possible.
Thank you. Talk to your preteen's doctor about scheduling their well visit and recommended vaccinations.
Let's go.
The Lions and the Giants have played 46 times over a span of 92 years. The first ever meeting was November 5th, 1930. The Lions were the Portsmouth Spartans back then, and the Giants gave them nothing and took everything in that first matchup, winning 19-6. The Lions hold the all-time series lead, while each team has had their share of runs. Detroit had a 5-game series winning streak from 1964 through 1974, while the Giants won 4 straight and 6 of 7 from 1976 through 1990.
Pro Pitch, which we had earlier, are sponsored by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and also Sauce Gardner is in traffic, but we are told he will be here at 6:30. All right, so we're all staying for the big party anyway. So Sauce will be here at 6:30.
That's right. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins at 6.
He's here.
CNN.
He's here. He's ready.
It's beautiful.
And guys, I don't know if you know this. Today is not only our 20th anniversary. It is 10 years to the day of Seth's WWE debut. So a little double celebration.
Look at that.
I know.
Celebration.
Isn't that
and then
beautiful?
you have the 24/7 belt, and they're not making those anymore.
I don't know if they're selling them or not. They'll probably still sell them, but it's not being defended anymore. So it is now mine officially.
Yeah. Do you have that in the house?
This is my house.
Really?
This is the one I'm going to get framed. and like put the picture next to it in the office. You know what I mean? I'm going to put the title with the nice like photo of the, you know, the whole thing.
Does Natalie ever walk around with that on?
No, Natalie has the blue SmackDown Women's Championship, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Natalie's a bit of a collector. By the way, do we give any love yet to our fine DJ today, the great DJ
No,
Juanito?
we didn't. I like to call him DJ Johnito.
That's right.
He's DJ Juanito.
That's right.
Anyway, the Michael K. Show Pro Picks, sponsored by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. I want to get back to the Giants Big Blue Report, brought to you by 2 by London, the engagement shop at London Jewelers. The Giants have not scored a lot of points this year. Every single one of their wins is by one score.
Right.
This is a Detroit Lion team that can put points on the board. So let's say, even though the Giant defense is very good, that they score 28 points, the Lions. Okay?
Okay.
Let's say they do that. Can the Giants score 30 and win?
Doesn't feel...
Or does the defense have to shut down? Does the defense have to win this game is what I'm asking.
Yeah. I just... To confidently say the Giants can score north of 28 points seems hard to do unless they get a special team score or a defensive score. Just the way they're built, Michael. Matter of fact, I think the kind of design that they should go after is to try to control the clock and keep the ball out of Goff's hands, keep the Lions' offense off the field. I think that's kind of where they're going to do it. Kind of what you saw the Commanders do against the Eagles. It's just if you don't have the ball, you can't score. But if you're going to have to open it up, you got to throw to open it up, Michael. You're just going to have to.
Right.
You know, and do they have the weapons to do that? And I like their play calls, but like what you heard Greeny say, it feels like a preseason game. Like they keep getting these guys off the scrap heap, finding guys off the practice squad, finding guys off of waivers just to put them on, wide receivers. Now Slayton's good. We know Sills can do some things, but overall, guys, it's not an offense that I think can really score more than 24 points, something like that. If they got to score north of 30, you don't like their odds.
You would think that this is a game that was built for Kenny Golladay to break out.
Oh yeah, against Detroit.
I mean, he had an 11 touchdown season with Detroit.
That's right.
And now he can't make a catch.
Does that motivate? See, I would think that that's a game. Now, if I'm a Giants coach, right? If I'm Kafka, I'm expecting my door to be broken down this week by Golladay saying, you got to get me the ball. This is my old team. I want to do something here and demand the ball and figure things out. But it's something not working in practice. It just feels like he's not really part of their game plan. Even though he dropped those 2 passes, guys, it's not like he's getting targeted a ton. And after that second drop, he was basically persona non grata. But don't you think this is a game where it's like, hey, I'm stuck with you. I can't cut you. I can't take the cap hit. We're past the deadline. Make it work. Just make it work. This would be the week.
We hadn't even mentioned this with the Packers losing last night. I mean, that was a threat for a playoff spot if they started to go off on a run. I think the Giants are really in pretty good shape.
Well, because, Peter, now I think 9 gets you in.
9 and 8. Think about that.
9 and 8 could get you in, yes.
Well,
it all depends what happens at the bottom of the... I mean, the Packers are now finished, right? Washington's at...
They play like they played yesterday. They're finished.
They're I'm sorry. It's not.
That was your 3-point pick, right?
It was my 3-point pick.
But you do it again.
I do it again.
Yeah.
All right, so,
I do it again.
All right, so here are the team. The Giants have, it's 3 playoff teams, right? So let's say the Giants don't win the division. Philadelphia wins the division. All right, the Giants have 7. Cowboys have 6. Commanders have 5. Packers have 4. Are they going to be able to get to 10 wins? And here's the thing. Giants have the tiebreaker against the Packers. So if they both finish with 9, Giants are in. Lions aren't getting to 9. Bears aren't getting to 9. Falcons, Panthers, Saints, all not getting to 9.
Bucks will win the division, so it doesn't matter.
Probably not even without 9.
All right.
They can win the division without 9.
Now, like Seahawks or 49ers, one of those 2 teams win the division, right?
Is the other one going to get to 9?
Cardinals are at 4. Are they getting to 10? Rams have 3. Could they win 7 of their last, 9 games? Or 8 games? I don't think so. So if you tell me the 49ers win the division, Seahawks have the tiebreaker against the Giants. So that could be a team. So you look at Seahawks, 49ers, Cowboys, Commanders. That's who we're looking at. And I think 9 gets you in. So I thought going in just a couple of weeks ago, we were thinking 10. Well, you got to beat the Lions. Otherwise, where is your other wins going to come from?
Well, so think about that. If they beat the Lions on Sunday, they have to win 1 more game.
Probably, I think. Now, where that could get nasty is that if you lose both games to the Commanders, they've got the tiebreaker. Commanders have 5 wins. That gets them to 7. So it could be a little dicey with tiebreakers. But right now, I see a path where 9 wins get you a playoff spot.
Well, that is a very, very thorough Big Blue report brought to you by 2 by London.
Nailed it.
The engagement shop by London Jewelers. Pickard designed the perfect engager ring to fit every budget at any of their 6 area locations. I don't know if you saw the sign out there, Don. Slap off, settle the squall. Dave versus Mike, Rick versus Don.
A slap off?
Yeah. Like Smack Fest.
Like just smack in the face.
How am I supposed to survive that against Rick? A battle of wits, I'd cripple emotionally.
I'll tell you why. You could do all right because you have the beard. He has a very fresh baby face.
He has a beard, Rick.
Oh, Rick has a beard now?
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
We don't see Rick often.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, how about this? So I apologized yesterday to Dave Rothenberg on the air.
Right.
And I got a text today
from
Dave. I want you to have a great time tonight. You really deserve this kind of honor. See, that's what you get when you act like a human being. You didn't get that text,
I
did
didn't
you?
get it.
No, you didn't.
I'm sickened by the fact I didn't get it.
Well, after what you said about the guy?
Well, but I also called him pound for pound the best talk show host in the market. That doesn't mean anything?
And by the way, what did I say? Did I even say anything yesterday? All I said was I thought I just said you were a gutless puke for apologizing.
Thank you.
I didn't say anything bad about him.
ENN's coming up in just a moment. We have a special guest,
We
too.
sure do.
So stick around for that. And then at 6:30, Sauce Gardner.
That's right.
And then at 7 o'clock.
The Bacchanal.
The Bacchanal. You guys drinking? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Whoa.
Yeah, we're going to work blue.
Yeah, we are going to work blue. It's going to be a roast, not a troast. Anyway, right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
This program is brought to you in part by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly.
Greatness can't be bought. Greatness must be earned, self-created, and self-defined. Not something you're born with, but something you become, something you reveal, something you set free. Greatness frustrates, it motivates. Greatness intimidates and inspires. But most of all, greatness wins.
If you were diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call the law firm of Whites and Luxembourg, who, for the last 30 years, has achieved record-breaking New York City mesothelioma and lung cancer verdicts for thousands of your neighbors and coworkers. It does make a difference which law firm you hire, so choose wisely and call Whites and Luxembourg today. Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
Here or there, live or on the go, day or night, spin the reels or just chill. Hard Rock Atlantic City is everywhere. Take me to Hard Rock Online Casino and Sportsbook. Get 50 free spins and up to $1,000 bonus match. Download now.
You see, son, with a little elbow grease, you can do just about anything.
Thanks, Dad.
That's right, Robert. And it's never too early to learn you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
That's right, Jamie. But it's not just about savings. It's about the friends we make along the way.
You said it, Flo. And don't forget to floss before you brush. Your gums will thank you.
That's right, Dr. Gary.
Jamie?
Sorry, I had another thought, so I got back in line.
What was it?
I can't remember.
Football is back in the Big Apple. New York is energized, and iconic Yankee Stadium is electrified to host the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. The Big Ten and ACC will write another chapter of football history as 2 powerhouse teams battle in New York's bowl game. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl kicks off on the Bronx Gridiron December 29th. Get your tickets now.
would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the Yes app now. It's more than just a game.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
You're watching Yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ENN. Summer ENN. Peter, it's summer ENN.
Because no K-Ster? He's here now.
There he is. Everyone's getting ready for the Bacchanal.
You just missed a gritty.
Yeah, you missed
You gritty?
I just gritty.
Oh, wow. That gritty and tonight's ENN is brought to you on the K-Show 20th anniversary on 98.7. It's brought to you by the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Where do you play Mohegan? You must be 21 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem wants help, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. We have a special guest joining us for all of ENN tonight. He's won essentially every title and accolade there is in WWE. 10 years ago, he debuted. You may know him as the Architect. You probably know him as Seth freaking Rollins.
There he is.
There he is. Thank you, DJ John.
Wow.
As he soaks in the applause, gives us his Seth freaking dance moves.
He has the best suit of the four of us.
Yeah, he dresses very well.
Yep.
We are well dressed up here, man.
Well, yeah.
All right, I'm glad. I almost went casual. This is
you blew us out of the water.
Good deal. I don't know about
Yeah, I like this.
All right, cool.
This is very toned down for you.
It is. Yeah, I went through the closet. I go, what can I bring? There's a lot going on. A lot of my suits are kind of in storage. They're in the archives with WWE.
Oh no, I see the piles at the warehouse.
Yeah,
they never stop.
So I have some kind of that I wear double. I double up on them, and this is one of them.
So, Seth, obviously you are an incredible athlete yourself. Congratulations on 10 years.
Yeah.
In WWE. It's pretty
10. 10. Today is the turtleneck anniversary of the Shield.
Did you ever dream that it would go this well for you?
Yeah. I mean, I had to have, you gotta hope high, man. You gotta dream big. What's the point otherwise, right? What are you gonna, why not, right?
I mean, what's the craziest thing that's happened? Is it the fact that because of this business, you have a wife and child, you have incredible accolades, you've done it all. Like, it's worked out in every way for you humanly possible.
I've been very, very fortunate in the wrestling business. WWE has taken care of me. Like you mentioned, the family, the daughter. But I mean, I've done some wild stuff, man. Like I flew into the O2 in London on a helicopter, I did the Today Show, the Daily Show. I had Jon Stewart help me out in a wrestling match.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was in New York.
Yeah,
the Cena situation.
Yeah, the Cena situation. I've been in the ring with legends, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake, like you name it. So like, yeah, man. I mean, give it up for those guys. Life's been good. I've had a good 10 years.
Who was your favorite growing up?
My favorite wrestler? Different eras, right? So I grew up as a Hulkamaniac, right? I grew up born in '86, so I had the little suitcase, the toothbrush, the wrestling buddy, the whole nine. But my favorite all time is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Woo! Yeah, he was just my guy, man. I loved him, and I haven't stopped since.
Now, I won't even ask you specific name, but is there any wrestler that you wrestle with or against that you sincerely don't like?
Oh, man. Is there anybody that I really hate?
Other than Peter.
I mean, it was rumored that you just had a story.
Yeah, no, I don't like Matt Riddle. I don't like Matt Riddle. And there's just some guys backstage where we butt heads, you know. We you know, and sometimes you don't like everybody you work with, right? Of course. I mean, you work with Pete here, so
Yeah, right.
there you go. but no, you know, you butt heads backstage, and sometimes you can work it out in the ring. And then there's some people that open their mouth when they shouldn't. It's 2022. That seems to happen a lot.
Right.
So, you know, just shut up sometimes. But they open their mouth when they shouldn't, and I don't like them. Matt Riddle's one of those people. I don't know if we're ever going to get along. And there are some other ones, but they've long since departed the company.
But it's the most fascinating part of the business for me is that you guys have these relationships with each other, some good, some bad. But no matter what, your number one goal as a professional, and if you don't do it, you essentially lose all respect, is to take care of one another. It's like this built-in code to do. How do you separate that when, like, you really can't stand someone, but you just have to protect them at all costs?
God, I don't know. It really is just this built-in code, man. I think it's because we all know that we've got to go home and provide for a family or ourselves or a future or whatever. And so even if you don't like somebody, you may hit them a little extra hard,
Right.
But it's always going to be in a safe place. Like, I've never been in a match or in a situation, even with people that I don't like, even with Matt Riddle or someone like a Brock Lesnar, I've never felt like my life was in danger. You know what I'm saying? And I've never felt, no matter what animus I had towards somebody else, I've never felt like today's the day I'm going to take away this guy's livelihood. So it's just something that our brotherhood, sisterhood, community has always been built around, and it's number one priority. When I teach my students, I got a wrestling school back home, safety always priority number one.
In Iowa?
Yes, back in Iowa.
I got to tell you what, you're a good-looking guy. I mean, is it the next step like movies? I mean, it happens out of the WWE.
I don't know. My wife's on the case with that. She just did Cyndi Lauper on Young Rock, and
She was, by the way, tell her she was awesome.
Oh, dude, wasn't she incredible?
She was. I could not like. So his wife is Irish.
Right.
The great Becky Lynch, one of the greatest to ever do it. Becky's Irish, has a very thick accent, and to hear her with Cyndi Lauper New York accent was incredible.
Yeah, it blew my mind because she's also got kind of a deeper voice, just naturally, like kind of raspy and stuff like that. So hearing her like walk around the house trying Cyndi Lauper, it was like, oh my God, this is startling. And I knew it was kind of a good voice, but then when I saw her in the get up, in the setting and all that stuff, I was like, dude, this is insane. And it's hard to play a living human being that exists.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos to her for having the guts to go out and give it a shot.
That's a hard accent too.
It's very difficult, but I appreciate. Yeah, I do. I feel all right. I could do it, right?
Yeah,
I could transition, right?
I mean, The Rock,
John
Cena, you
Dwayne,
could do it.
Why not?
You could play comedy. You could play drama. You could action hero. I'll be your agent.
There
We're
we go.
We're good.
All right, we can work on something here.
So you said you would dream big. You were a wrestling fan from the get-go. Did you ever allow yourself to think of something else to do? What you would do if you weren't a wrestler?
Nah, dude, I put all my eggs in the basket.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I just said screw it. I had my mom made me go to community college when I was training to be a wrestler because she's like, there's no way this is gonna work out. And I was like, you see, Mom, one of these days. And she's like, well, you go to school while we wait on that. I think she was cautiously optimistic. Thank her for that. But yeah, man, no, I don't think I would have worked as hard to get where I needed to be had I had like a plan B in place.
Bro, that's a good point.
I just think I would have, you know, well, it'll be okay if I do this instead, you know. And so for me, that was my mindset. That's what worked best for me. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that was it. That's how I got where I needed to be.
Living in Iowa, how do you travel? What's your travel plan every time you have to get somewhere?
We take a flight to wherever.
It's always a flight to a flight?
A flight to a flight. There's
Always
usually a connection, a couple little, you know, straightforward ones. And fortunately, over the past 10 years, I've accrued enough that I've been able to get a tour bus. We couldn't.
Oh, you're a tour bus guy now.
Yeah, I'm a bus guy. I'm a bus guy.
When I get to work, I just see. I don't know whose bus is whose.
Yeah.
One of those is yours.
I'm a bus guy.
Wow.
I'm a bus guy. That was a big accomplishment.
Yeah, you guys have to understand the bus thing is we're talking about the Roman Reigns, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins level to get a
Yeah. When I first got on the road, because when we first get up, you're not making no money, and I'm in rental cars, crammed in with a bunch of dudes, and we're just driving down the road from town to town, getting into the hotels at 4 a.m. They ain't got a room for us. You got to figure it all out. It's chaos. Eating at the Waffle House, all that stuff. And I saw, the John Cenas, the Big Show, the Rey Mysterios, the CM Punks. They got the buses, and I'm going, God, why can I get a bus? Can I get a bus? And so finally, after almost a decade, I think I've had a bus for like 2 years now. So about 8 years in, I was like, you know what? I can do it. I got a bus.
Do you ever drive the bus?
No, God, no, Jesus.
Do you sleep well on it?
Oh, I sleep great, like a little baby, man, because it's kind of like rocking, you know what I'm saying? So, like, just, you lay back there and it just puts you right to sleep.
Nice.
It's great, yeah.
All right, I want to get some sports stories. My last wrestling question for you. You debuted with the Shield 10 years ago today. When you guys were running all the time, were you all equally friends, you, Roman, and Dean, or did you have a closer connection to one than the other?
I actually think they had a closer connection to each other. I was kind of the odd man out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like the DD, right? So I'm not the partier at all. I was the one who was kind of straight laced and made sure everybody got where they needed to be on time. And they were the dudes who partied and hung out more. So I was actually the odd man out of the group a little bit. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. I appreciate your honesty on that.
Yeah.
And yet it also makes sense. Although I'll tell you, you're very affable. You're a very approachable guy. You're not a drag.
I think that's a new thing, though. I think that's a new thing. Yeah, I think my wife brought that out of me.
Okay. Yeah, you are because there's some people who before work they're very intense and you may not want to approach them. Seth, no matter what you're going through, I always get a hey Pete. No matter what you're doing, like you're not a lunatic.
Yeah, I'm not. Sometimes
there are some lunatics.
There are some lunatics. I'm not. Well, I appreciate that because sometimes the business makes me feel like a lunatic.
I understand it. All right, well, let's get to a little bit of a regular ENN here. This story is pretty crazy. I don't know if you saw this. The Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, was arrested last night. I know what you're saying. How could you possibly have time to be arrested? They were at Lambeau for Thursday Night Football, and he was arrested for drunk driving in Nashville.
Wait.
It's an unbelievable night.
Wait. So he was in Lambeau. They win the game.
Yep. Yeah.
He gets on the jet. They go back to Nashville, I assume, right?
Yep, that's correct.
And then at some point he decides, it's midnight, still early, let's go party, right?
Yeah, but it could. I mean, they had to get back to Nashville at 2, 3 in the morning.
I would think so.
And here's the problem, though. Like when the Yankees travel, if they're flying anywhere into New York, there is no liquor served on the plane. If you have to get in a car, they want to make sure there's no liquor on the plane. Right. Now, when you're going into another town, when you're getting on a bus and going to the hotel, then you might have some liquor.
Sure, yeah.
But they will not do it. So that sounds like somebody might have drinking on the plane.
That's what it sounds like. And it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you remember the name Steve Chason. He used to play for the Red Wings and the Hurricanes. Drunk driving accident right off the plane. So, yeah, I think, and then you become responsible if you're the team, if you're serving alcohol. I'm with you, Michael. I think he was probably partaking on the plane ride home.
And then just got there. And
land back, and then your car's running for you. You jump in the car to go home.
So what's the fallout?
Yeah.
He posted a $2,500 bond. The Titans say we are aware of the reports regarding Todd Downing. We're in the process of gathering additional information.
Okay, so where does the responsibility lie? Let's say it is your situation where you're saying, they're just kind of, it's on there. I know what that's like. When we go bus to bus on tours, there's alcohol available, but we're busing everywhere. There's no car. But if you guys landed a FBO, coming down, you have to take your cars back home, most likely. So,
absolutely.
So, it's on the person, right? I mean, he's not a player. Because I know that for players, they'll be very mindful about making sure players always have a ride.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether they apply that to their coaches and also, just assume they'll do the right thing.
We shouldn't blame the Titans either. This coach could have had a bottle in his bag.
Right.
That's true.
They're not checking
Well,
that.
that's what you have to find out. Was he served? Do they have a refrigerator he just goes to? Does the flight attendant give him the alcohol? Even though these are charter flights, it's usually another company that supplies the charter. Like, if you serve somebody at a bar and they get DWI, is the bar responsible?
Yeah, if you serve somebody at a Christmas party.
I think to a point, right? To a point, the bar becomes responsible.
So
because
they're going to
have
find
to
out.
use
Listen,
their-
if he had stuck a bottle of Jack in his bag, I guess there's nothing you can do about it. But if he was served on the plane.
So you're going with Jack. You think it might have been Jack?
I mean, it's just what it came at the top. Should I go on sponsor, Tullamore Dew? It's a negative spin here. So let's try to steer away from a sponsor.
I love Jack, though. Love Jack. Now let's stay with alcohol for a moment and other alcohol news.
Okay, sure.
Qatar.
Let's stay in alcohol.
Qatar has banned alcohol at all World Cup events. None of you are going.
Right. All the other atrocities are perfectly illegal, but you can't drink at the games.
They should never have given that country the World Cup.
Right.
For everything that it does. And then they usually play the World Cup in the summer, but since it's hotter than the surface of the sun, they had to move it to the winter. Everything. It's so dumb.
But you know what it all comes down to?
Moolah.
Yeah, it's all moolah. And
when you spell Qatar with a Q, they shouldn't have gotten it for that reason.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that makes sense. But they came to an agreement. World Cup organizers have banned the sale of alcohol. Listen, it's not fun if you're someone who's going to the World Cup. But the amount of people that they have there and how intense everybody is if you're attending the World Cup, like, it's just a different level of intensity. Who here is really excited and dialed in, ready for the United States on Monday? Anybody?
Okay.
And that's a little excitement, but we suck. So imagine if you're from a place that's really good at soccer. You know what I mean? So I do understand, I do think they're saving some potential drama.
But why so late in the game, man? Why 2 days?
I already have my tickets.
Yeah, people have been planning this for, they just roped them in and then they're like, we're going to get them here.
Could that be something that could affect attendance? Knowing that it's dry?
Of course.
Oh, if it had been 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's why they
But
waited
to Seth's
as late as
point,
they did.
now you're done. You have your airfare booked.
Right. That's why they announced it as late as
That's
they did.
rotten, man.
That is pretty
That's
rotten.
rotten. Can you request a refund?
That's a good question.
I wonder. Also, Peter, people are getting angry. I'm getting texts. It's not Qatar. It's Qatar.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's what they said.
Well, excuse me. Please send the email to ESPN because we were sent a pronunciation email. It's Qatar.
Yeah, he's right, actually. I've been. We've wrestled in Doha, and so I've been, and I always pronounced it Qatar, thinking that's how it was. It's not. It's not.
Qatar.
It's how he's pronouncing
But that's
it.
not how you just said it.
I said Qatar. If you listen, you didn't read the email, did you?
I did read the email.
Did you hit play on the little?
No, I didn't listen.
Wait, hold on, hear it again. That's it. That's the proper pronunciation. One more time, Anthony. One more time.
Qatar.
Oh,
It's tough, though. That rolling R is tough.
It's right in there. It's
All right.
right in the
I'm good. I'm going to lay out.
I don't think I'm going to mention the World Cup on the show.
Well, we're going to have to mention
No,
some
we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
We are going to have to.
I mean, it's 2 against 1, Peter.
Hold on, Don, do you literally, I don't believe you, though. You don't believe we shouldn't mention the World Cup at all.
No,
Don doesn't want us to mention golf.
But that's different. He hates golf. He doesn't hate soccer.
No, but I don't like what's going on with the World Cup.
But this is the largest sporting event in the world. It's
So
not it's
Oh,
the
all about
Olympics. You
popularity.
have to talk about it, right?
Thank you, Seth. Thank you very
I
much.
think it'll come up in ENN, but I don't know if we're going to be breaking it down.
All right, let's hear. Do you want yay or nay? Do people want to hear about World Cup or not? You want to hear about it? How many people don't want to hear about it? That's kind of split.
All right, so we won't.
But I'm telling you right now, just prepare. Monday, when we go on the air, the U.S. will be in the second half against Wales.
Yeah, but if
I'm going to update people on what's happening.
And if they start doing well, you're going to have to start talking about it.
By the way, that's the best point. If they actually make a run, this will be the best part. You will be forced into it because it will become the biggest thing ever.
So you're going to give in-game updates when you don't even give in-game updates for the NCAA tournament.
I do some.
No, some.
But you got the sponsorship.
We'll
last
have
year.
fun with this, Michael. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make it fun. The Bills canceled Friday's practice and did it virtually. Of course, the Bills playing a home game in Detroit this weekend because of the 6 feet of snow expected in Buffalo.
How are they getting out of Buffalo?
They're already out,
I think
right?
they're gone.
Okay.
Have you seen the footage?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, yeah, it's already like 2 feet deep. It's
There's
wild.
certain places that you know that they planted the flag in the summer, right? Whenever they decided, let's make this our home, it had to be July. Because because if it was January with lake effect snow, let's just keep going south.
Yeah, why would we
But like
stop
when
in
you
Buffalo?
decide Winnipeg, Buffalo, this is where I want to plant my flag, it has to be in the middle of July.
Yeah, it's a terrible decision. Let's
Or
be
you're
honest.
addicted to cold and snow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, an abbreviated but special anniversary edition of this week's NFL announcer.
Do you hear the reaction? Do you hear the reaction?
They love it. All right, guys, let's start up in frosty Foxborough, Massachusetts, where your New York Jets, Sauce Gardner joining us next, by the way, will be in New England to take on the Patriots. The game is on CBS at 1 o'clock. Kevin Harlan on the call.
He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man.
He'll be joined by the great Trent Green and Melanie Collins. Now, this will be the rare circumstance where Jets and Giants fans up against each other at 1 o'clock.
It's not as rare as it used to be. It's
be.
crazy that they're having, these two teams are good now.
I know, and they're playing at the exact same time. It's a bummer, but we will stay on Fox at 1 p.m. The Lions at the Giants for a game of this magnitude. There's only one man, our friend Kevin Burkhardt on the call. That's right, yes. Kevin will be joined by Greg Olson, Aaron.
One time ago, the game hit me so hard under the throat that I threw up the plate in my mouth.
Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi. And then, of course, the Sunday nighter will be an AFC West clash. The Chiefs at the Chargers on NBC. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. The Monday nighter, we go to the NFC West. We get San Francisco and Arizona in Mexico City. And we will have Joe Buck, Troy Aikman. Troy?
Come on, Daddy.
That's right. And Lisa Salters on the call. And that will do it for this special K-Show 20 ENN. Thank you to Seth Rollins.
Thanks, Seth.
How about Seth's Bears-Falcons game? Who does he
Bears,
want?
Falcons. Go Bears, baby. Justin Fields, my guy.
Oh, by the way, before Seth Rollins leaves, by the way, I want to tell everyone some very important information.
Tell us.
I don't know if you know this, but a week from Saturday is Survivor Series.
I did know that, yes. We are in Boston.
That's right. A week from Saturday in Boston, you have Survivor Series. But not only that, guys, WrestleMania 39. We are going to be in Los Angeles, California.
Two nights.
That's right.
SoFi, two nights.
That's right. And right now there are tickets for SmackDown, for the Hall of Fame, for NXT Stand and Deliver, for Raw. They all go on sale this week at AXS.com. All three events will be at Crypto.com Arena. So that's all going on sale. And Survivor Series in Boston next week on Peacock. Seth, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, man.
Congratulations. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love, New York.
Sauce Gardner's next.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
10 years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. But we didn't stop with shirts. We also created so much more, from polos to sweaters to pants. We even have a line just for her, so everyone can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Shop our Thanksgiving weekend sale at untuckit.com today.
They say nothing worth having comes easy, to which we say they must not have had our sirloin steak with garlic herb butter, because it takes less than 30 minutes to make. No, really. With Home Chef, you get more ways to have super delicious, super fresh meals that are also super easy. So even when you don't really have time to cook, you still have time to Home Chef. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Also available at select stores. Home Chef. Delicious means simple.
A thoughtful present always lights people up. While lottery tickets may make fun gifts for some adults, never gift lottery tickets to kids. Gambling early can lead to big problems later in life. Let's all do our part to make sure kids have a vibrant future. Only gift lottery tickets to adults 18 and up. Responsible gifting is always a bright idea.
Yeah, hey, yeah. You gonna step into this ring with some heavyweights. Kevin Durant putting on a show. John Morant, what a highlight. We ain't backing down. That's a promise. That's a promise.
When a child is sick, there's one thing they need: a really big cookie.
Welcome to RMHC.
And parents of sick children have tons of decisions to make. Like movie night, game night, or should we finish that book tonight? We don't perform surgeries, just talent shows. We're not big on poking sticks and beeping machines, but we're the best at playing dress up. Well, we have a few beeping machines. We think the tooth fairy should travel everywhere. And while hospitals have doctors and nurses, we have mom and dad. We don't provide treatment, but we do provide dogs. And we throw some really good parties. Because at Ronald McDonald House Charities, we help families feel at home, even when they can't be.
And it's so amazing. I've been treating myself tonight. Sipping champagne and toasting it. I've been feeling myself. And it's so amazing. Sip so good as I know it. It's so amazing.
Welcome to DraftKings Casino, the home of blackjack. Get in on the thrill of the hit, the split, the double down. Enjoy the largest library of blackjack games in the industry at your fingertips. Spanish 21, live dealer, vacation blackjack, retro blackjack, and much more. Download the DraftKings Casino app, use the promo code, and get $50 in free casino credits when you deposit $25. Action so good, why play blackjack anywhere else?
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season. Get in and get away.
Now, get 0% APR on 7 of our most popular models, or sign and drive one home today. Hurry in.
Hi, this is Aaron Judge, and I want to introduce you to my All Rise Foundation. Our mission is to inspire children and youth to become responsible citizens by engaging them in activities that encourage them to reach unlimited possibilities. We do this through our All Rise Pro Camps, through our Aspiring Leaders programs, and through many grant programs that provide $2,500 to organizations that support our youth's education, leadership skills, health, and well-being. Now I'm proud to share All Rise with New York City with our first All-Star evening on November 18th. I hope you will join me and my foundation as we all rise to support youth in our community. Visit AaronJudgeAllRiseFoundation.org for more information.
This is no ordinary QR code. It unlocks your access to the Yes app, the app that streams live Nets games anytime, anywhere. The app that gives you a fun second screen experience with features like Watch Party, live stats, plus free pick and play games where you can win cash prizes. Stream live games, watch with friends, win big money. Yep, all that by scanning this one QR code. Download the Yes app now. It's more than just a game.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, amigo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
The rookie sprinting down to the end zone to celebrate. Interception number 1 as a New York Jet.
Well, if you have been enjoying the New York Jets season, and if you're a Jet fan, how could you not be? This is one of the reasons why our next guest, he has burst upon the scene. He is the best defensive rookie in the NFL, and he is Sauce Gardner, everybody.
They love you, Sauce.
Definitely, man.
Sauce, when you started, working out with the team after getting drafted and signed, did you think that you guys would be this good? At this point, you win on Sunday, you're in first place.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. I definitely knew we had the talent. We just all had to trust the process, man, trusting what Coach Salah had for us, and that's what we've been doing.
So how would you describe what you're feeling right now through this rookie season?
Man, it's a great feeling, man, being able to just play in New York, man, with great fans like this, man. It's just a blessing for sure.
Did you have, obviously watching on TV, it didn't look like you've had a lot of, like a big learning curve. Was there anything that surprised you about the pro game? Speed, anything you had to adjust to?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Speed, anything. If you make a mistake on something, they're going to see it in a press box, and they're gonna go after the next play. So, that's the main thing.
How different is it playing in college and playing in the pros? I mean, now this is a big business, Sauce. So, I mean, do you feel more pressure playing in the pros?
No, not really. Ain't no pressure.
Really? None? I guess when you're good, there's no pressure.
I wouldn't say that. It just comes with the preparation. When you prepare throughout the week, you can go into the game on Sunday feeling real confident, playing fast.
Now, you guys actually played very well defensively against the Patriots a couple of weeks ago. Same game plan going into Sunday?
Yeah, pretty much, man. We just got to execute now on offense, defense, and special teams.
Do you allow yourself to dream about what you guys are capable of doing, or do you just keep it one game at a time?
One day at a time, 1 week at a time.
I've been told that I know you're a big video game head. You love some Twitch. You love some gaming. What games are you on right now? What gets most of your time?
I would say Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone.
Now, how good are you? I mean, give us...
I can hang with all the pro COD players, so I consider myself to be...
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, you're on the level.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I always watch at the end of games, there are players that talk to each other, exchange jerseys. What's been the biggest deal for you after a game, a player that you met that you exchanged a jersey?
I can't even explain it. Like, I'm not one of them guys that... want to have somebody's jersey after we done went up against each other.
Right. I like that.
So,
oh, wow. You just won over Don LaGreca. Yeah. I mean, we love that.
100%. So, I think I only got like one jersey swap. It's with one of my guys. His name's James Hudson. He played offensive lineman for Cleveland. And that's because we played college together.
Oh, that's your friend.
Yeah, that's my guy. So I'm not one of them guys that, even if I shut somebody down, I'm not trying to be asked for their jersey, but, everybody ain't built like that.
Now, let's say you intercept Tom Brady twice, and he's down to trade jerseys. Are you doing it with Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So far this year, what's been the most challenging quarterback you faced?
I'll probably say Aaron Rodgers. Even though he probably didn't have his, one of his best games against us, he was very smart. He knew how to make those tough throws and those tough windows. So I'll probably say him.
So when you get ready for a team, is it focusing on the quarterback or more focusing on the receiver that you're going to be guarding?
With me, I like to study everything. The quarterbacks, the receivers, the offensive coordinators. I like to study all of that. But definitely when we was playing against the Packers, I had to try to study Aaron Rodgers like he was going to be the one lining up across from me.
I wonder, I'm looking out in the crowd, and there's 4 kids with your jersey on. What does that mean to you? How cool is that?
Now, honestly, man, it mean the world to me. How I was growing up in Detroit, I wasn't able to, see NFL players like that. So the fact that I'm able to, be some type of icon for the youth, that's why I wanted to be here for sure.
Now, I got to tell you,
they're all standing for you there.
I got to tell you, this is the Sauce Gardner sauce from B-Dubs from Buffalo Wild Wings.
We had it the other day.
We tasted the wings the other day. They're valid. You have valid wings, sir.
Appreciate that.
What are your how cool is it though? I don't know if you want to give props to an agent, whoever pulled this together so quickly for you though. It seemed like the draft happened. Everyone's talking about Sauce Gardner. Boom, you've got to deal with Buffalo Wild Wings. That must have been pretty cool.
It definitely was cool, man. It's something that I always wanted. I just want to give a shout out to my marketing team, for making that happen for sure, man. I feel like it was meant to happen.
So at a young age, because you told us when we first talked to you after the draft, you've had the name Sauce from forever, from your coach or whatever. So it's been since you were a kid. So at some point you were just like, I need to endorse a sauce. This makes sense.
It wasn't as soon as I got the name Sauce. I wasn't thinking about like wanting to have my own sauce till I was probably like my sophomore year in college or something like that. You know, because then I knew it was like really real and there was a huge possibility of it happening.
So is that something you say when you hire your marketing team? Is that something you say early in your meetings? Like, yo, I want a deal. I want to be doing stuff like this.
No, not really. You know, they just very creative, so they came at me with it. Like, if you got any sauces that you like, you know, any places you like to have sauce, you know, just let us know and we're going to make it happen for you. So
you said you like Buffalo Wild Wings and that's it.
So I'm curious, if you're playing a video game, right, and you get hungry and you call up Uber Eats, do you ask for Buffalo Wild Wings sauce, Gardner wings?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Got to.
That's pretty cool. Now, in a couple of weeks, Darrelle Revis is going to be honored by the Jets, and I'm sure you've heard that name. You probably knew who he was before you were drafted. What's it like to be compared? Your name is now being thrown out there as maybe the next Darrelle Revis. How does that impact you?
I mean, you know, it's a blessing to be able to be compared to a guy like that. But, you know, me personally, I think that we have different, like, play styles, and you know, he agrees as well. But, you know, at the end of the day, we both, you know, doing the same thing, you know, being able to just shut other opposing receivers down, you know, that's the main thing.
Now, Darrelle Revis spoke about you today, so let's listen.
I think the sky's the limit for him. He came in as the fourth pick overall. The sky's the limit for him. I love his game. I'm a lover of the game itself. So, you know, it's a different style of play, but at the same time, he's effective in what he can do. And him and DJ Reed is doing a great job of being the dynamic duo. So in this league, you actually need that. You need great cover corners. And I think he can, you know, he can take on that legacy as being a New York Jet great. So
that's got to be nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Now, I got to ask you this. We were talking earlier to Oswaldo Cabrera, who's on the Yankees, about the Red Sox because he was a rookie and what it's like to do that. You're a rookie, and you're now playing your second game against the Patriots. Even though you haven't been here very long, like, do you feel the importance and the meaning particularly of kind of exercising the demons and beating the Patriots?
Oh, yeah, man. Like I was saying earlier, you know, the main thing we had to do was trust the process. So once you trust the process and buy into it, you know, even if you wouldn't hear all the games that's personal, they're gonna feel personal. Even if it's really not supposed to be personal for you, you know, I know my teammates, you know, who's been a part of this organization, you know, they felt it. So, you know, I feel it as well.
You know, we're listening to Darrelle Revis, and there was Revis Island, and he never really had the other guy on the other side that could measure up, and teams would go that way and complete passes. How important has DJ been to your success?
He's played a huge role, you know, man. Me being able to just watch the little things he do, watch how he study film, watch how he take care of his body, you know, watch how he practice. You know, I've been able to just be a sponge and just taking the information that he's giving me. You know, I feel like it's played a huge role on how I play on Sundays.
You know, we had Robert Saleh on. He's a weekly for us, and early in the season, he made a lot of news with the keeping the receipts thing. I mean, how did that play inside the room? How did it feel that your coach had confidence in you as a team?
Man, he had tremendous confidence, and, you know, that's the type of organizations I like to be a part of, you know. And he just keeps us going. You know, he mentioned the thing about receipts.
Right? Fans love it, too.
Yeah, definitely. He mentioned the thing about the receipts. You know, we definitely noted it, and we definitely knew how we was going to go about it. But at the end of the day, you know, we just got to keep the main goal to the main goal.
Is it true that the veterans on the team would not call you Sauce until you had an interception?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So it was Elijah.
No.
They just called you by your name.
Yeah, but that's how I was when I was in college as well, you know. So, you know, I feel like it's just something that I had to do again.
Yeah, absolutely. What did that first, we played it when you sat down. What did that first interception feel like?
It felt great, man. You know, me being able to just catch the ball and hold on to it, you know, first interception in the NFL, it was a true blessing, you know. And when I got back to the sideline, I was just like, man, y'all know what my name is now.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Very cool.
I know you train and you practice in New Jersey, but, you know, coming here to New York, what's it like to be in a big city like this?
Oh, man, it's great, man. Like I said, being able to have fans that support me, you know, that's with me through whatever, you know, it's great, man. I don't really, like, come to the city like that, so there's some things that I haven't seen before. I just went to Times Square for, like, the first time, like, last week. So, you know, that was cool.
Twice in a week.
Yeah, definitely.
How'd you like the traffic driving here today?
I don't like that, though.
No.
I don't like that.
All right, so I always look, your position that you play, to me, it's so dangerous. If you make one mistake, everybody sees it. Do you think about that? Or can you think about that?
Oh, no, you can't think about it. You know, at the end of the day, things going to happen. You know, good things, bad things. But you got to be able to move on to the next play, you know. And that's why I say it's the hardest position, you know, in NFL. You know, like you said, you make one mistake, it's over with. The light's going to be all up on you. But say for D-line, I'm not discrediting the D-line, but if they make a mistake, you know, people probably not going to notice because at the end of the day, the ball's still going to have to get to the secondary. So that's all they really
no, you guys get exposed and you start backpedaling. Like the receiver starts with the advantage every single play. I think it may be the hardest position in sports, honestly.
100%.
You say you thirst for information, you study film, quarterbacks, wide receiver. Do you scout the officials? Do you know what officials call what yet?
Not really. You know, I know it's like one group that let us play. You know, because at the end of the day, when the ball in there, receivers gonna be pushing off. And you know, as a cornerback, way you taught, you know, if they pushing off, when they push, you pull. You know, but all refs not gonna see it. Some refs just gonna see the DB. You know, you got some group of refs who let you play.
If you have a play where, like, let's say it's 3rd and long, and they go at you, right? And someone gets behind you. You know the person's a little bit behind you. It's late in the game. You know you can't give up points. Are you able to consciously think, I'm going to interfere here and make sure this doesn't happen? Like, do you have enough time to think about it in that way?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. The main thing is you just can't panic when the ball in there. Just don't panic.
Are you a trash talker at all?
Yeah, I talk a little trash.
All right, so let's say you guys play the Vikings. Justin Jefferson's in front of you. What are you saying to him?
I don't know. You know, that's what I got to think about, you know, the week of the game, what I'm going to say.
Now, do you study the guy? Like, his girlfriend's not good looking. You know, I don't like his mom. I mean, do you know what you're going to say about the guy? Do you study that stuff?
Not really. Like, you know, the girlfriend thing, that's what I was doing. That's what we was doing in college. You know?
Now it's a wife.
You've grown out of that.
That was a college thing. Now everybody grown now, man. I don't want to make it too personal.
Right. There is a line. You don't want to cross the line.
I respect it.
All right, so how big is this game Sunday? I know everybody here that's a Jet fan is excited about it. And the stakes are so high, Sauce, because you win, you're in first place. You lose, you're in last place. So how big is this game?
Man, it's a huge game, man. We just got to, you know, stay focused. We had a great week of preparation, man, and we looking forward to Sunday for sure.
Now, when do you head down? Or up?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really cool that you came by. We appreciate you, man. It's not often we get to sit down with maybe the hottest player in the sport. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
I mean, I know you're staying very level-headed. I can tell you're not reading your press clippings, but yeah, obviously there's been a lot of conversation about Sauce Gardner. We appreciate you making time.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
And good luck with this, man.
There it is.
It is very good.
Good luck on Sunday, too.
Good luck.
Make some noise for Sauce Gardner,
Sauce
New York.
Gardner. They love him. They love him. Anyway, we'll come back. We'll wrap up the on-air portion of the show. And then what happens at 7?
A Bacchanal.
A Bacchanal.
That's right.
Blue Bacchanal.
So who do we have coming? We have Chris Russo.
Yep.
We have Chris Carlin.
That's right.
Chris Carlin scared me a little bit.
Why?
Oh, no.
He outsourced. He asked people on Twitter yesterday for material.
Oh, no,
so
that's not good.
Oh, that's not
yeah,
right.
that's not good at all.
And we have Dave and Rick.
Dave and Rick, yeah. Yeah. We have these beautiful T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. That's right. A lot to do, Michael.
Are we going to get any of those T-shirts?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Never had one.
Not, but we got some sauce.
We got sauce from Sauce.
Beautiful.
He takes it.
I love it.
And
Let's do a
autograph.
slap-off.
That doesn't sound right.
All right, we'll break in
be
just a
slapping,
moment.
though.
We'll talk about the 20th anniversary that we're having. It's unbelievable, 20 years. Kayla, Greco, Rosenberg, and you right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly.
It's
It's amazing to think that my grandmother started Bigelow Tea right here in New York. And today, we're still a family company. And you have to remember, tea, that's all we do. So every cup counts. That means never compromising. My family won't let that happen. And our extended family, they give their all every single day. And our community, well, they expect that. I want a cup of Bigelow Tea to be a moment just for you. That's what I hope for.
Did you get it? I got it. It has a chicken breast with no breading and has garlic, cumin,
slow
paprika.
down.
There's no time. Black pepper.
Hello?
They try to copy us every time.
Introducing the new blackened chicken sandwich. No breading, all flavor.
It's Live on the Line, powered by BetMGM. If you are an experienced gambler, novice gambler, or you're just here for some entertainment, you have come to the right place.
Yeah, let's go again, baby!
Like him here, he's playing really well, and for all the reasons that you guys just said, I'm going to follow you.
I would fade on this. I could not get seduced about the juice, DK.
I want you all to listen up and get a load of this.
New York sportscaster Russ Salzberg brings his passion and his podcast to the Yes app.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Watch Get a Load of This, brought to you by Untuck It.
Yeah, hey, yeah. You gonna step into this ring with some heavyweights. Kevin Durant putting on a show. John Morant, what a highlight. We ain't backing down. That's a promise. That's a promise.
Imagine a world where no child goes to bed hungry.
We do, every day. It's a beautiful place.
But right now, families are struggling, and too many children don't have enough to eat.
So we're called to help them, to bring them food, resources, and hope.
To support families today so they can build a better tomorrow for their children.
To do this, we connect people like you, who can do so much for the most vulnerable children across this country and around the world.
If we work together and seize this moment, we won't have to just imagine that beautiful place.
We can create a world where no child goes to bed hungry.
Tired of food storage containers that clutter up your fridge and cabinets?
Fed up with cling wrap and foil that doesn't keep your food fresh?
Well, now you can go ahead and forget about it. George and Mary Beth here with another incredible invention.
Skinny Stacks, the all-new tray storage system that keeps your food fresher longer. So you simply put your food in the tray and snap, it's closed.
Then set the freshness tracker. Now, stale, dried up food is a thing of the past.
And freezer burn?
Forget about it.
Look, ordinary containers, foil, or cling wrap allows air to get inside and spoil your food. But the unique silicone cover on the Skinny Stacks stretches to fit over your food, pushing air out and locking in freshness with an airtight seal. You can really see the difference. This super stretchy silicone lid stretches to fit virtually any kind of food, like these avocados.
And this thick-cut watermelon. And how about this huge grapefruit?
How about this entire chicken? And the stackable design lets you neatly store just about anything. Take your fridge from this to this.
Use Skinny Stacks to take your snacks and foods to parties.
Just remove the lid and serve from the tray. It's perfect for taking meat from the fridge straight to the grill the easy way.
And the see-through lid makes it easy to see what's inside.
Plus, the tray is microwave safe, and cleanup's a breeze because they're dishwasher safe.
Skinny Stack's stackable design will save you space in your fridge and cabinets.
Keep your food fresh the easy way with Skinny Stacks.
Call or go online now and get your Skinny Stack storage trays for just $19.99. But order right now and we'll double the offer. As a bonus, use the promo code on your screen and we'll give you 50% off a second set of Skinny Stacks. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 sets of Skinny Stacks, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-903-8914 or go online at skinnystacks.com now.
The 3-2. That one's drilled deep to left field. Going back, Joyce looking up. See ya! 3000. History with an exclamation point. Oh, what a way to join the 3000 hit club. Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
All right, welcome back to the 20th anniversary celebration of the show. It happened in 2002. You just turned down my mic, Joey, you animal. What are you doing?
No, headphones.
It is really
It's
loud.
Enco,
bro.
You just did the same thing. You just did the same thing that I did recently and got yelled at for.
No.
It was up so loud that I accidentally turned it down.
And I'm an audio engineer. That shouldn't happen
I
to
know,
me.
it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. Anyway, that's Joey Salvia. He was with us at the start. He's the one who wrote the theme song at the beginning of the show. Joey, we talked about this when we were on with you a couple weeks ago. When this started, no one saw 20 years.
No, I certainly didn't see 20 years. I didn't think you had it in you, Michael.
I didn't. I don't know what happened.
But you brought Tim up before, and you were right. I mean, he's like Nostradamus of radio.
Yeah.
He knew. He saw it in you. And I think you did a great job. Did you have a good time today?
Wait, no, don't say it past tense. The Bacchanal starts at 7.
The Bacchanal starts at 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was
Listen,
that over?
we have to say goodbye to the radio in a few minutes, but then the Bacchanal begins.
That's right. It's going to be unbelievable.
Let's call it Bacchanal and Blue.
Now, since you actually, worked with us, you're now a dad?
Yeah, how about
And
that?
how's that?
13 years. I'm a dad.
Roman?
Yes. He wants nothing to do with me anymore now because he's 13 years old.
Really?
But that 10-year window that I had with him from 3 to 13, beautiful times.
And then, he'll come back to you.
Eventually, maybe when he's 30.
You think so?
I think so.
Does he like Roman Reigns? Does he watch wrestling?
He does. He was very proud to know that there was a wrestler named Roman.
Okay, I would think so. There are a lot of Romans around. Lots of Romans, but not Romans.
No, you're right.
But great times in the morning with Joey, where he would tell me his problems, I'd tell you my problems. He was the one that told me, you got to play the game, brother.
But most of the time, my overnights just went into the morning.
Because he had an eyes wide shut period, Peter.
Oh, I know, I've heard.
Where he would come in with and just have stories of just amazing
and
things
video.
that happened.
And video, too.
There's something tells me and Peter would get along in that
And in
life.
between my naps,
I would have enjoyed the stories, I'm
I
sure.
would be out cold at times during the course of my shift because I'd do the localization, and then we'd sometimes 20 minutes of nothing to do, and I'd sleep because I had to get up at 3:45 in the morning. But he would give me some
Suffice it to say, both Joey and I went through breakups on the show.
In different ways.
Suffice it to say, they were handled differently.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Peter melted. Peter melted down on the air, Joey.
Yeah.
You thrived.
You thrived. I should have been you.
Joey just went through a vivid video catalog.
In real life.
Yeah.
Right, picked out what he wanted.
All right, so now 20 years down, let's see if we can do this. We worked with a lot of people before Peter.
Oh, yeah.
So the first one would be who?
The very first person we worked with was Jason Moss.
No. On the air. On the air.
What are you doing?
No, I'm talking about on the air. So we had Bonnie. We had.
Wait a second. We don't talk about Bonnie.
We had Michelle.
We don't talk about Bernstein.
We had Ryan Rucco.
Dave Rothenberg for a little bit.
Erica Herskowitz.
Erica Herskowitz. That's right.
That's a good pull.
Yeah.
That's a good pull.
Yeah. Great pull.
Top five.
Thought about it.
Was it Lisa Lopez?
Yeah, Lisa Lopez too.
We had Lisa for a little while.
Yeah, we tried everybody till you, Peter.
I know. And now I've been stuck.
John Hine.
We fought you. John Hine was a little bit, and the great kid with the great hair. Was on TV.
Lupica, you remember Lupica?
No, but Lupica wasn't on the show.
No, but he was pre-show.
What, Andrew Brill?
Yeah, Andrew Brill. Yeah, Andrew Brill.
I mean, so many people behind the scenes do. Dan Grassa started answering phones on our show. Tom Krasnicki, who right now is killing it on radio in Tampa.
Ruocco, we said, yep.
By the way, the great Andrew Gunling will be here later.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to
RJ Santillo is going to be in the house.
And what's better, though, to see
Shouts
the
to
ascension
Gigi.
of Ryan Hurley from intern
to Pinhead Soup
to now my boss.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Think about that.
Ryan, come out here and
Come
say
on,
hello
Ryan.
to everybody.
Oh, wow.
And John Winthrop, too. They did an amazing job.
They did an amazing job.
We only have 30 seconds left. Get them in the last 30. There they are.
Anyway, as they come in, the only way that you could last on the air in any city is if people listen to you. And that's what you people have done. You've allowed us to come into your home and your car for these last 20 years. And we cannot thank you enough.
Yes.
We love you like family. We can't believe that you came out on this Friday night. We're going to have a great time once they turn off the transmitter.
Right.
But thank you. Who knows if there's going to be a 30th, a 40th, but let's aim
All
for it.
because of this man.
No.
Otherwise, it'd be the show.
No, 20 years with this guy. Bye, everybody.
Stay on his coattails.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. Coming up next, ACC men's basketball. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday at 3 o'clock. The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
10 years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuck It, 10 years in the making, and we're